Ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, animals of all ages, welcome to another SimSational event here for the AK Racing Gen 3 Supercars tonight, and it is an absolute belter. I'll give you the hot tip. We are live here from Hidden Valley. We've got Tier 2 on the track at the moment, then we've got Tier 1 coming our way. Very, very much so. I'll get the music off so you can actually hear me. It is absolutely beautiful to have you all with us. Thanks for tuning in. It's going to be a SimSational event tonight. I'll be joined very, very much later by the man, the myth, the legend, Chris Munro. But for now, it's going to be one man who is a definite legend here at SimSational TV. It is Lindsay Larko Muddle. Welcome to the commentary box, Lindsay, and are we excited about tonight's event?
Yeah, I very much am. I've done, one Supercars commentary before, talking about the main series, excluding the classics, and it was Brands Hatch in the Gen 2, so this is my first time ever calling these Gen 3s out on the track. I know firsthand how hard they are to drive, and I'm just excited to see how everybody handles them.
Oh, it's going to be a brilliant event tonight, don't you worry. You'll be strapped in to your seat there, Lindsay, trying to jump out of it at any time because the racing is going to be off its nut here tonight. Thanks to everyone for tuning in so far. It's going to be a brilliant event. These boys are going around for their last final minutes of the practice session. As you can see, they've got 3 seconds left to go, and the qualifying has been set for them during the week. So we'll be looking out to see where all of these guys get on track for the rest of them. You can see them all entering the server now and the chat. It's going to be exciting to have all of these gentlemen racing around here in the Tier 2s tonight. But we'll get cracking on with the event here. So without further ado, before these guys get into qualifying, let's go through the standings. And before we do that, let's go racing. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are at Hidden Valley Raceway. 14 turns of absolute mayhem. I can tell you what, coming our way. The actual track itself looks like an AK-47 if you flip it the other way around. But we're in Darwin, so it's very, very fitting for World War I or II. I can't remember which one it is. But nonetheless, the war is only on the track tonight. 2.87 kilometres of absolute carnage. Qualifying for the Tier 1s will be coming up later, so theirs is a 15-minute session. The Tier 2 race length, which is what we're about to see in the next couple of minutes, is 30 minutes of racing action ready to rock and roll. Mandatory compound change in that one too, so keep your eyes about you for that, because they'll be starting on the softs or the hards. You'll see some 2 different compounds for that as well. It's going to be epic racing for them. Then with the Tier 1s later on tonight, they've got 3 races. And I don't know why it says race 1, 2, and 3. It says race 1 all the way, but they've got 3 of them. 11-lap sprint to start. Whatever compound you want there. Race 2 is a 20-lapper with a mandatory pit and compound change. The grid is set from their event finishing places in the 11-lap sprint there as well. And then race 3 is a 34-lapper, which is a top 15 reverse grid for those lot as well too. So that's going to be exciting. But the fastest man overall on track in the session so far for the last 2 weeks is Andrew Ferguson, up until about 24 hours ago, when his youngest son, Jack Ferguson, set a 106.482, I'm pretty sure it was, and just pipped the old man at the start-finishing line for that. Let's have a look at the driver standings for these guys. I'll tell you what, it is closer than you want to ever think. Look at this. Well, we'll get the right one up involved. In fact, so Ryan Nielsen, Tony DeLuca, and Hayden Cook have been promoted from this grid. They're leading the championship, so they get put up into Tier 1. So it's Steve Warwick, Brandon Schmill, Justin Fullis in 1, 2, and 3 effectively, with their Braden Moore in 4th, Dax Daniel 5th, and Luke Brock 6th, and Nick Evans in 7th overall. But if we get back to where they really are, Mamone in 11th place, Wallace, Bill Cosmaricus in 13th, Gary Postlethwaite in 14th, Richard Fakuri, Jojo Higgins in 15th and 16th respectively, Gray Ward, Steve Harrison, Jimmy Park, Joel Azayak, Sintner Ashak, as he likes to be called, in that one too. So that's going to be interesting. Then you can see the final grid contenders for the so far season, with 21st, 22nd, 23rd in Richard King, Jacob Dutton, Clayton Waters in 23rd respectively. Damon Curtis, Johnny Singleton, and Harrison Rayner rounding out the grid, with a couple of entrants here of Curtis Bensley, Styles, and Doble. I'll tell you what, Lindsay Muddle, that is spicing up in the championship factor, that's for sure.
Yeah, it looks pretty close. Obviously, I haven't seen how it's ended up in in this situation, but that seems to be a very, very, very close championship standing there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very, very tough on these drivers for that. So, without getting any tougher, it's time for them to go racing. Their 30-minute session is about to start, ladies and gentlemen, in the next couple of minutes. It's great to have you all with us here tonight. Loving having everyone in the chat. We've got Dean Hanley, we've got Buttygig, Ron Marshall, Hayden Wallace in there as well, saying good luck for every competitor. Beautiful to have you with us here tonight. And myself and Lindsay Muddle are going to be back here for race 1. 30 minutes coming your way of Tier 2 Gen 3 action. It is going to be insane. So don't you go anywhere. Get those condiments refilled because SimSational TV will be back here in just a hot second. These are the cars ready to go, ladies and gentlemen. It is epic here tonight. Welcome to the 30-minute special here for the Tier 2s of the Gen 3 V8 Supercars here, live from Hidden Valley at SimSational TV for OK Racing's Gen 3 Supercars Championship. Let's get the music down and out of this one because, boy, oh boy, are we set for a rip snorter here tonight, Lindsay Muddle. It is going to be an absolute belter. We've got a minute 47 to go, and that is your grid there. Matthias Falzon is going to take P1. Sam Spencer off the first row right next to him. Bill Kosmarikis hasn't showed up in third place. This is disaster for the big man. He is absolutely flown through this field, but nonetheless, Schmerley and Jojo Higgins have got a free pass in front of them. Steve Warwick, Banachek, Justin Fullis, and Fabian Fitness. If you are a SimSational TV AK regular, you will know he will climb through the field at a rate of knots there in 10th place. Joel Zayak, or Ashak in 11th. Richard Facuria hasn't joined it, but Johnny Singleton, quick man, nearly there to go with Rick Zach, Dax Daniel, David Lacono, Braden Moore, Clayton Waters, Jim Park, Wallace, Richard King, Grey Ward, and Luke Brock are rounding out, and Lee Crowther actually in the background there too for the rest of them. But get your predictions in, Lindsay. Who you think is going to give us a good shot tonight?
Well, I mean, you can't count out Falzon, can you? I mean, I think that he's the one that I've got an eye on. I've raced him a few times, and he's currently sitting well up the sharp end. And yes, I think he's the person I've got my eyes out for.
Well, I'll tell you what, there you heard it first comments from the super coach himself. That is Lindsay Muddle there on your screen tonight. Munro and Chris will be around later on for the proceedings. But here for tonight, here for the Tier 2s, we are getting ready to rock and roll. There is a mandatory pit in this one, so they have to compound change their tyres. Who is going to come out on which tyre? We'll find out. You can see them all sort of playing fun games, but it looks like everyone's on the softs at this moment. A couple people on the hards there too as well with 15 seconds to go. That means the lights are up, ladies and gentlemen. That means we're about ready to rock and roll for this one. The boys are getting their heads ready to go. The adrenaline pumping, 7,000 horsepower, ready to crack our way. And we are about ready to rock and roll here in the racing department. And it looks like Falzon's got a beautiful start there. But I tell you what, Sam Spencer's absolutely lighting them up big time there in the absolute fair dinkum department. Beautiful start from both of them. Luke Brock's already got a drive-through for jumping the start, so he's going to have to go through the pits. But it is line astern, 2x2, in fact, into turn 1. And Matthias Falzon has taken the jockeys so far over them. Bit of jostling for position here at the background as well. We've got Justin Fuller's there all over Joel Ashak there in the background too. So all these guys 2 or 3 wide coming through the session here. This is incredible racing for the both of them. On the best part, all of these guys are having a cracking start. You can see some smoke signals there showing up from Fabian Fitness. Steve Warwick's in the battle of a 3-way pack here at this point in time. Holy mackerel, this is incredible stuff. Look at these guys going around racing. A bit of server lag as well. You can see Steve Warwick just holding his line there, but it's on for the start because Spencer has got past Falzon. He's got the jockeys done, but he's ran it too wide there. Falzon's going to go up the inside as well. Bit of door bang in there from the both of them. Oh, this is incredible racing there. The green-eyed monster himself from Samuel absolutely driving the tits off this Ford in a different shade of factor there from the AU Falcon days. He's really on it, but Falzon's not letting him go too easily there. And here comes Jojo Higgins as well, looking for a 3-way split here. This is incredible. Side drafting down the front straightaway. Is Jojo going to get a good run there, or are we all going to come to fruition here by the end of it? You can see the side drafting there of Falzon versus Spencer. They're having a good crack here. And that is an incredible lap 1 as we come into turn 1. And Spencer's just deep under brakes. He's lost it completely. That's going to invite Falzon straight up the inside of poor old Spencer's going to be up into the bunda there. Oh, Lindsay Muddle, what an absolute disaster there for Samuel Spencer.
Yeah, that is not how you want to make your way into turn one. He just tried to chop across and get the lead of the race nice and comfortably, but he's just locked the front tyre and went absolutely flying off, and Falzon now has clean air ahead of him. But Higgins is not that far behind Falzon as we currently look at Fabian Fitness. He has Warwick now behind him. Oh, that's a spin. That's a spin in the background, and I can't read that name with the blur. Zach O'Reilly.
It is Joel Ashak. He is completely off in the bunda. KFC livery there, not too bad for him. Unfortunately, he's right at the back of the pack without Luke Brock and Dax Daniel there for things. But now Jojo Higgins got punted wide as well, so he is off completely and out there too, right at the worst point of the track. Disaster for him, unfortunately, Lindsay Muddle. But the racing goes on up the front here. Look at Justin Fullers have a good crack.
Yeah, he is trying to hunt now as he heads into turn one. He does pull to the inside and braking late, and absolutely gets past Banachek as easy does it there for the Ford. But Banachek still trying the outside. He's just a little bit out too wide. Can't get the power down too early in these Gen 3, so you can't try and have a traction race once you run out of road. And now next up to get past will be, correct me if I'm wrong, Zach O'Reilly Schmerl in P2. It's correct. Okay, so I'm not going to get yelled at today. As well, these cars are just so close. I mean, I haven't commentated Nova before, as I said, and they're just so close together. It's absolutely fantastic to see. But there is a distinct lack of Chevys.
Distinct lack of Chevys, absolutely. You can see there's all Mustangs in here, really. We've only got about 8 or 7, I think, of Chevy Camaros there in the background, and one Toyota of Dax Daniel. But nonetheless, it is hardcore racing here from the rest of them, Lindsay. This is Justin Fullers absolutely singing it at the high heavens on the last corner. And he's going to get a really good run here on Schmerly too in the OnlyFans Mustang. It is Snowy River versus OnlyFans. Two places where you probably want to have something of an OnlyFans in the cool and maybe some hot action underneath. But I tell you what, hot under the brakes at the moment is Justin Fullers. He's got the job done there on Schmerly. Banachek's going to have a good crack at this too. You can see them having a good little tussle up in front. He'll be thinking, oh, can I get the job done? And you can see there, Fullers all over the track, just absolutely sliding his way through there. That was incredible racing from the both of them, trying to get each other in each other's wheelhouse, but just managing to get it close there. And you can Steve Warwick there, right on the back of this is the three-way tussle here for second position overall. Banachek's gone defensive. And there is Steve Warwick. What can he do in the background of this? Beautiful liveries all around. I'll tell you what, streaming live here in 4K also. So if you've got a big TV, get yourselves on amongst it here tonight, because you can see it in crystal clear formatting. And the racing here at the moment is not letting us down here for this front gaggle of cars, apart from Falzon, who is 3 seconds up the road from anyone in Sundry. He's just galloped away absolutely SimSationally there from Matthias Falzon, a quick customer in the Wednesday Cup. And he'll, at this rate or not, he should find himself up in the tier 1, sorry, by the end of the season, that's for sure. But Steve Warwick here, under a little bit of pressure here from Fabian Fitness. Fitness is coming at a rate of knots, and you can see they're just sailing around the outside. Job done. You can see how quickly he's just overtaken him. And here comes Sam Spencer as well up the inside. Oh, Sam's on the slide there. Somehow he gets it pulled up. Fabian's just brake checking both Warwick and Spencer there too. Oh, cracking racing now. Fabian's up the inside. He's on the right side of the track here for this corner, but the wrong side for the next one. He just pulls in behind him, as you can see on the view here, but he's going for it anyway. Oh, Fabian Fitness just bumping and running the both of them. They're on the tandem slide there. Fabian's going to have to give that position back. I'll give you the hot tip, because that is taking advantage by passing over contact. So will Fabian Fitness give that one back? No, he won't, because I reckon Spencer there, not Fabian Fitness, sorry, Stephen Warwick, sorry Fabian, has gone straight out in front, and that is the view of the race at the moment here. These guys are going hammer and tong. It's happening a little bit here at the background too, but we'll get back to them, because Fabian right now is all over the back here of Banachek. What can he get done here, Lindsay Muddle? He's on for a suck here down the front straight.
Yeah, well, he showed that he's not afraid to go late on the brakes, and he's in the slipstream as he heads towards turn one. Fitness is going to pull to the left-hand side. He shows intent, and now into the braking zone. Is he going to be able to outbrake Banachek? No, it doesn't look like it. But now, oh, that's a little bit wide there from Banachek, who locks up as he's sitting behind Schmerl through turn one. And that's a great run off the exit from Fabian there as he runs towards turn 5. Can he get a good run and get the move? He does look to the inside. It's very late and aggressive there from Fitness, and there's contact, and they both keep it going in a straight line. Fitness Fitness trying to get the elbows out. He's trying absolutely every measure he can to try and get past Banachek, and he's trying it the long way round in the traction zone. He has the inside for the next corner now, and he's going to slot in to P4. Banachek was absolutely defenseless for that one, and then here comes Spencer as well, who's trying to find a place past Banachek as well. He's trying to follow Fitness before it gets too late for him to continue closing. So Spencer, as he heads through the long left-hander now, has an absolute slingshot onto the straight and slipstream, much like Fabian did last lap, and Banachek could find himself losing another position in this race if it's going to be a late move from Spencer into the braking zone. He pulls alongside, he goes late, there's contact on the entry, that forces Spencer to go a bit tight, there's more contact, but he does get the move done with a couple of elbows out, as now Warwick as well in the background could try and find his way past Banachek, and he does get past Banachek.
He does. Absolutely beautiful stuff there from everyone in sundry. A little bit of elbows out racing, as Lindsay said, but all fairly and squarely in the passing department. Banachek's gone down a couple of positions there. Can't get the job done, unfortunately, at this moment for him, but nonetheless, looking very, very racy. Sam Spencer back on the prowl here. Schmerley and Fitness have got past each other. Somehow, whether it's clean or not, I do not know. But nonetheless, that is a positional change there. Fabian Fitness right on the prowl now. He can see Justin Fullis in front of him and looking very, very tasty indeed. You can see that that gap ever decreasing. But Fitness on the slide there. Just had to check up. Finally got it checked up at the right point. But the OnlyFans Mustang there of Brandon Schmerl can get half a run here, but Sam Spencer's right on his clacker again. You can see here from the hood cam that they're having a good old tussle here. The slipstream's going to come into effect right at this point now. You can see him closing and closing and closing. Pulls out to the left-hand side. Is he going to get the job done here under braking? Very, very even on the brakes, but we'll go over here to the cam view. Oh! Spencer's on the slide. Somehow pulled it up. Four-wheel drifting it into turn one, and that is SimSational at its finest there from Sam Spencer. Cleanest move of the night, overtake so far of the evening. And he is right on the prowl here, trying to get back up where he deservedly needs to be. He's got Fitness in front of him, but I'll tell you what, cracking driving from the both of them, Lindsay. That was Spencer versus Schmerl. Spatial awareness there at its best.
Yeah, and Spencer just learning from his mistakes earlier on in this race when he was fighting right up the sharp end as he's working his way, I got the word out eventually, towards the sharp end once again here with 20 minutes to go. And he's already going to be hounding the back of Fabian Fitness here, trying to get on to the podium places here. And it's only been 10 minutes, so he's gone from the lows of the lows, going off at turn one, everybody getting past him, to already nearly hunting for the podium again and being back on the podium places. But he's got a little bit of work ahead of him, as Fabian Fitness is no slouch in a Gen 3 supercar. From what I'm seeing at the moment, he's absolutely flying around the circuit. So is Spencer as well, though, as they head into turn one. This is the first time, I think, in a few laps that we've not seen two cars side by side at turn one, as Spencer's just driving very neat and tidy at the moment. He takes a very different line there to Fitness through this little flat-out complex, as he just gets ready to dab the brakes, slow the car up, and just hopefully don't lock up. Very easy to do in these machines. They just, they're so sensitive under braking, and I think we've seen that a few times. There's always tyre smoke coming up from some car in the braking zone, but this lap it's definitely not Spencer. He's closing in on Fitness at a rate at knots, and he is also, Fitness is closing in to the P2 position as well. So he is absolutely flying along. So this could be a really close battle here for the second position when they all close up and they all start battling, as Spencer is right there behind Fitness, and he's well and truly close enough to try and make a move with the slipstream. He'll close in, and he's going to continue to close in to Fabian Fitness towards turn one. Is it going to be close enough to go for a move here? Sam Spencer, he's going to go to the outside. Fitness defending the inside now as they head through. It's a little bit of a slide there. Oh no, and he's just absolutely punted Fitness round. He will be slowing to seat it again, as oh no, all sorts of cars are getting caught up here. Banachek is going to get past. He's side by side with Fabian Fitness, and Warwick gets through on Spencer, who finds himself falling down once again after a small mistake costing them for the second time this race. Fitness also with work to do again. Schmerl and Banachek, the two biggest winners out of that one, moving up into P3 and P4, but that is not what you want to do when you're following behind a car through turn one.
No, not at all. That was excellent, excellent spatial awareness there from the man, the myth, the legend, Rick Banachek, Bananarama as you like to call him. He just got through that, sliced it through the hot knife into a piece of butter and just said, I'll take P4 off you blokes, don't worry about it. And now he is right there. Smurley also got through too. So cracking stuff from there from the rest of them. But Fabian Fitness just got a bit checked up, unfortunately, there from Sam Spencer. Just a bit of spatial awareness. But Fabian's into the pits already. So this is the compound change we were waiting for, ladies and gents. We are 18 minutes and 14 seconds left in this one. The boys will have to come in for a change of compound. So it is interesting to see that Fabian's done that. He's very, very wise under the collar there, is Fabian. So we've got to keep him mentioned in the grand scheme of things, because these boys will be looking at it going, maybe an undercut here could be strong. Am I going to get enough out in front? But I'll tell you what, at this rate of knots, Falzon being 11.6 seconds out in front. His first go here in the V8 Supercars into Tier 2, and he's just showing the boys how it's done. 11 seconds already, and not even halfway through this race. Just doing a very, very nice job at the moment. But Banachek has found some pace. He's got some momentum here, Lindsay Muddle. This is incredible stuff. We'll see from the roof cam here of Banachek just sliding his way through. These 10-lap-old super soft tyres are absolutely singing to the high heavens for these boys. Who's going to come into the pits? Fitness has come out in 15th place, albeit the first one to pit. Are we going to see a pit battle here between Banachek and Schmerley? I think Schmerley's going to know. He's not, but Banachek is. Banachek's going to go bang, and I'll send it into the pits first, son. So he's the first man to blink out of the Schmerl versus Banachek battle. Fabian Fitness was the second one to have a good crack at it as well. So we've got 17 minutes left in this one. The first 18 or odd minutes has just gone in an absolute flash of an eye. I'll tell you what, but also Clayton Waters into the pits too. He's going to fall down the racing order at this point in time, but don't worry about that. They're all going to come out on the hards. Where is Fabian Fitness? There he is. He is on the front straight away now. So Fitness on the charge here. The undercut is probably going to work for him now, but not as much as he thought he was, because Banachek has got out in front of him, but he is on hard compounds, and they are as cold as an Eskimo's tool at the moment. So he's going to have to be wary about that turn one. And you can see him there just run a little bit wide there for Banachek. For the first lap and a half, they're going to be very, very cold indeed. Fitness is already ready to rock and roll. He's got Justin Foulis in front of him. Also, a very quick customer. We'll have a look and see what the view is. But no, look at that. Straight as we cross to him, he goes starting up the inside, tries to get the job done. Foulis is brave around the outside. Oh, Fitness on the slide there too. Are they going to go 2 by 2 into that one? They are actually, because Fitness just arm muscles his way through, deadlifts himself through that move. And Foulis is right there with him, but he gives the position back up. Foulis still survives there on that hard compound tyre. Nearly the whole field has come in for a pit stop at least now. So where can we see Falzon? Is he going to come in late, or is he going to come in early? Because he has not opted to. Neither is Sam Spencer as well at the front of the grid there, Lindsay. But the charging band at the moment is Fabian Fitness. Can he get past these lap traffic battles to get himself further up the grid? Because it hurts your delta each time you go around.
Well, it looks like he is definitely going to end up getting past. Probably this lap with the rate of knots he's been closing and also overtaking, but he just wasn't able to get past last lap. Too many mistakes while trying to make a move, but he goes late on the brakes again. A little bit of a lockup. He does get to the inside of the corner though, and as they drag race through the exit, he's going to get past Foulis, but Foulis isn't done yet. He's still alongside as they head through this flat-out complex, nearly making contact, but Fitness is going to go defensive, obviously, to not let Foulis have another move back up the inside, and now they head into the slow section. This is where they went side by side last lap, but this time it's Foulis attacking instead of Fitness, and Fitness is just placing his car absolutely perfectly here to make sure when he makes the overtake that Foulis cannot get past, and he's done it to perfection. Now he has Ward ahead of him, and that is going to be, I think, quite an easy overtake for Fitness here. It just looks like he just has so much more pace over the Ford Mustang that's sitting in front of him. He's pushing him through the final corner effectively here as he runs off the final corner, and he's just going to drag race towards turn number 1 and get it done, because that is going to be simple for him to do when the car next to him pulls into the pit lane. But he's still defending a little bit here from Foulis as also. They're going to be racing Warwick out of the pit lane, and they're just going to undercut him, but it was very, very close there. Fine margins between the pit lane exiters. Oh, that's a big slide for Foulis. He's pushing to his absolute limit here as Warwick and Singleton are also battling just a little bit as he comes out of the pit lane. Banachek and Park also going side by side as well, just a tiny couple meters up the road. and Banachek trying to find it the long way round, but here comes Fabian as well. He wants a taste of this battle. He's saying, hold on, I see this, I can gain some positions here. I want to get a move done.
Oh, absolutely. Look at this. This is all happening here. I'll tell you what. You can see the 4 cars in the foreground there. You've got poor old Banachek trying to get around Jimmy Parker on the outside. Gets that job done. Jimmy Parker corking the bottle here now. He's going to have to be very, very carefully because he's got angry customers of Fullers and Fitness right behind him. You can see Fitness and Fullers having a good old tussle. Parky right on the middle of that one. He absolutely sandwiched himself in between that. And Fullers got around in the best, but now Fitness has got the run. Down the front straight away we go here, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful stuff there from Fabian Fitness. Full defense mode there from Justin. Can he get the job done on the brakes? No, he can't. Fabian is 100% more confident. Can he pull it up into turn 1? He can beautifully there. Over the poor old Banachek in front of him, looking behind himself, going, geez, and now I've got to really think about something here because I've got an angry customer of Fabian Fitness. Testosterone injecting himself into this battle at a rate of knots here. I'll tell you what. Plus Fitness, eat your heart out. If these guys give anything in the change rooms, I'll tell you what, Fabian's got it all. Go to him. He's got some dealers ready to rock and roll. I'll tell you that much. Of the test, the trend, the clan, you name it, Fabian's all got it ready to rock and roll. Banachek at the moment driving away the wheels off this car at this point in time in 5th place, albeit 3.5 seconds away from Schmerley up in front of him. But I'll tell you what, Falzon and Spencer still have not come into the pits. They've got 12 minutes and 17 seconds left in this one to go, Lindsay. And they've got to make their mandatory pit stop at this rate of knots. Falzon's going to be okay, but I think Sam Spencer's going to be in a little bit of trouble by the time Rick Zach comes through there as well, unless he started on the hard compound. I'm pretty sure he did actually, to make that stint very, very long in the grand scheme of things. But Jimmy Park's into the pits now, so he's done. We've got Fabian Fitness versus Banachek versus Fullers. And then Steve Warwick just a little bit behind on those hard compound tyres coming out. Just nearly got undercutting himself there in front of these two guys on stream at the moment. But didn't get the chockies there for now. But it is race on here. It's on like Donkey Kong here. It's 35, nearly 36 seconds for Falzon to cover himself off for a pit stop here at the moment between these guys on the hard compound tyres. His softs will be as dead as a doornail. I can give you the hot tip. In the grand racing thing, 16 laps completed for Falzon, and he hasn't come into the pits, but Spencer has. So Spencer's now in the pits. The green-eyed monster is coming through for his one and only pit stop of the race. Can he get it pulled up in time? He can. Now he's going to get his tyres done and dusted. He'll be refilling for the end unless he has already filled up from the start. But here comes Fitness versus Banachek. So we'll see where he comes. You can see in the foreground there that there was Sam Spencer. He came out of the pits. He is now exited. He's onto the front straightaway now, coming across the perforated line. Schmerley's going to get him. Job done there, but a massive, massive overcut has worked out there for Sam Spencer over Fitness and Banachek and Fullers, mind you. Cracking stuff there. That is strategical masterclass number 1 there. He's got about a good 3 seconds between himself, I reckon, now, between anyone trying to get his position here. But he's on hard tyres, and they are as cold as an Eskimo's tool, as I said earlier. So this first lap is going to be painful.
Yeah, and I remember just trying to haul these things around Bathurst with the hard tyres on when they were cold, and it was absolutely treacherous. And this circuit's a little bit more technical, I'd say, when it comes to slow-speed corners. So this is going to be really difficult for Spencer, and you can already see the time gain from Banachek and the amount that Schmerl's just absolutely gunned it up the road. So Spencer's really got to get these tyres fired up here in his green-eyed monster if he wants to be able to defend from Banachek as they're rounding turn 14, as he's nearly getting hit there from behind, and Banachek's just saying, get a move on, mate, otherwise I am going to be absolutely sending it up your inside at a moment's notice, and I won't send a carrier pigeon to warn you, as Banachek is also under a little bit of pressure from Fabian Fitness, and it's not a little bit of pressure, it's a lot of pressure, and Fitness is going to sweep through, but he locks up. He does a Sam Spencer, but not quite as bad, and flies off towards the grass, gets it just about back on the grey stuff as he rounds through the exit of turn 1, but not ideal there, just a little bit of an overcook there from Fitness, and Fullers sitting now behind him could potentially put Fabian under pressure, but Fabian's just going to want to be closing up to the back of Banachek again. That was very loose in the background from Fullers. He's under a bit of pressure from Warwick in the Chevy Camaro as they're nearly side by side, and this is one of the only Camaros inside the top 8. It's one of 2 Camaros inside the top 8 at the moment with under 10 minutes to go. and he's not a slow customer by any means. He's a very speedy customer, and he could very much find himself making up a couple of places here as he heads onto the straight. He does get an absolutely fantastic run here on Foolish. Will it be time to make an overtake here for Steve Warwick? Is he going to be close enough to go for a move? Will he have a deft touch of the brake pedal? He does pull to the left-hand side, and he does get a little bit closer, but not enough to get alongside. And so Warwick is just going to have to sit behind, wait for another lap, and then he can try and strike again. Fitness closing right back up to Banachek once again. Sam Spencer's gotten a little bit of a gap to Banachek in the meantime, but Fitness is just absolutely flying along, but not quite as quickly as he was before the mistake. Maybe just staying a little bit more cautious now that he's realised he's just maybe overcooked it a bit. But I say that, and he's closed up at a very high rate of knots to Banachek through that hairpin. It just seems to be where he gains a lot of time, is always through the slow stuff in this little second sector.
Yeah, very much so, and you can see the different driving styles as well, Lindsay, and just where their peaks and their troughs are in the grand pace department, that's for sure. But nonetheless, it is literally looking very, very nice here for Fabian Fitness. He's just got to get past Banachek. They're all on the same compound tyre at the moment and racing around at a absolute hyperbole of knots. And I tell you what, Banachek's really, really back into his fast house rhythm here at the moment. You can see him not being able to pull away too much, but keep Fabian Fitness at bay. Fitness is just going to have to go right to the outside and try to get that shallow entry into turn one. He does, and you can see the amount of grip he has just got there on entrance versus the shallow entry, and then wide exit versus apex there on Banachek, and they're side by side as we come through. This is the absolute sensational stuff. Fabian's going to have to go full wide around the outside. Is he going to trailer park girl move him? He is. Oh, that is the move of the night there. Bang on. That is absolutely sensational there. Sam Spencer, eat your heart out. That was cracking stuff there from Fabian. Beautiful driving awareness there from Banachek. Give credit to him as well to get out of the way and make that move work. Fitness has just sailed around the outside like Scandia and said, thank you, I'll take P4 off you, Bano, and I'm done. Bananarama in 5th place, Fabian Fitness into 4th. With 6 minutes and a half left here or thereabouts in this one. 2.3 seconds up the road for Fabian to get his first podium here in the Gen 3 Supercars. His first time out, ladies and gentlemen, as well, in the Tier 2 side. He is on the charge at the moment. We still haven't seen Falzon come into the pits at this stage, where he's still 49 seconds out in front, so he doesn't really have to at this point. But geez Louise, I'm telling you what, that guy is on a prowl, as this guy is on screen. Fabian Fitness, very, very much so in it. But I'll tell you what, Foolish versus Banachek, he's on like Donkey Kong, but Foolish has gone around the outside. Banachek slots it all up, he's crossed it on the inside onto the bunda, and that's going to be an absolute invitation for Foolish and Warwick. Thank you very much, mother, for the rabbit, says Steve Warwick. I'll take that one. Into 6th place, he goes on the hard compound tyre. Wow, he's only got Foolish to get past now to get himself inside the top 5. This is racing on here at the moment. We can see the guys just sort of starting to get into their rhythm and pull out a little bit of a deficit here. But tell you what, back down the field, focus on the top 10 for the night. Jimmy Park, however, a little bit of damage on the front splitter there. You can see it hanging on at a bit of 40-degree angle sort of style. But he is now on the back of Lee Crowther because Crowther has had a mare into turn 1. Parky's going full attack mode here at the moment. You can see Dax Daniel in the Cadbury livery just in there in the Toyota Supra. Poor old Parky's got a little bit of damage. They need to repair it in the pits, but he is now ready to rock and roll. But what has happened to Banachek? Oh, no, disaster here. We've missed out on Banachek's losing a little bit more on the timing tower. I think, no, it wasn't. It was just a timing tower giving me a bit of a nightmare. But Parky has gone off right as we crossed away from him. Lindsay Muddle, that is disaster for the big man.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what happens when you take the camera off someone, Zach O'Reilly. It is the broadcasting curse. It's not the commentator's curse in that one. It's definitely when you take the cameras off. It's when everything kicks off, as I've found out way too many times in the past. As Warwick just needs 1 place, and then he'll be inside the top 5. He's really going to be pushing to his limit here in that Camaro to make it a Camaro top 5 instead of it being a Ford 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's got to do it. He's got to make Chevy proud here. He's got to make all of the effectively the GM fans proud here to get inside the top 5, and he is flying along. He does have the pace underneath him to try and get past Foolish, but Foolish is a quick customer himself. He's been absolutely flying along in this race, so it's not going to be an easy task. But as he heads towards the final corner, if he gets a good exit, he could have a run here on the Ford Mustang, and he does get a good exit, but so does Foolish, who takes just a little bit of a wider line. We know that Warwick's been putting the nose in every now and again towards turn 1. Is he going to go for it? No, it doesn't look like he's close enough this lap around. So he's just got to keep pounding the back of Foolish and just trying to put the pressure on, and that's exactly what he has to keep doing. Banachek, meanwhile, in the background, looks like he is actually closing up a bit potentially to the cars in front of him here of Warwick and Foolish. These two have well and truly lost the back of Fabian Fitness, who's just been absolutely driving the wheels off that Ford Mustang. That gap's 1.6 seconds, and I did not expect to see that gap branch out just about as quickly as it did. As now we look to Sam Spencer. He's on the back of Schmerl. The gap under 0.2 of a second as he heads through turn 11 and now up through the turn 13, 11, 12, 13, 14 complex, which just comes at you so quickly in quick succession. Now, Spencer's been in this opportunity before at turn 1, and he's overshot it a couple times. He's hit the back of a car. Will he make it stick this time properly? As will he go the long way round? It does look like Schmerl is defending the inside. Spencer's going to try to take the road that's available to him the long way round into the braking zone. He goes a little bit of a lockup there from Schmerl. It's a lockup from Spencer as well, but this time he keeps it on the road, but he runs out of road on the outside, just has to trace the white line right around the outside of the corner, and Schmerl showing him the door and absolutely shutting him in his face. But now Spencer sees an aggressive overtake. Oh, he's locked up, there's contact, and he's half spun Schmerl. That's a great save there from Schmerl to keep his car going in a straight line, and now into the hairpin. Spencer tries this switcheroo here. There's contact on the apex again, there's contact again. Spencer getting really argy-bargy here through the middle sector. He's trying to put all the pressure on. He's pushed him again. Schmerl is getting absolutely beaten and battered here throughout this lap, but he's defending, he's holding on. Now it's a long way round move attempt from Spencer into the final corner. Will he make an unorthodox move? No, he's going to back off. He's going to try and reset. It's wide from Schmerl. Will Schmerl get a good exit from running wide? It doesn't look like it. They're wheel to wheel. They're drag racing down the drag strip towards turn 1, and just about Spencer is getting the move done. But now Schmerl is trying it again. This time he's on the outside instead of the inside. Towards turn 1 they go. They're still battling. It's a big lockup from Spencer, who just about still keeps it inside the track limits as Fitness has arrived as well to make this a three-way battle for these three with just under a minute and a half to go.
Oh, this is incredible racing there. Great call, Lindsay Muddle. Fantastic stuff here from all the driving in sundry there. Schmerley just had made an unforced error there at turn 14 and lost all the momentum. Now he's really under pressure because Fitness is coming at a rate of knots. Oh, there's Dax Daniel in the way, and Fitness has had to go a long way around the outside. Oh, disaster for Fabian. He was right up the clacker there of Schmerley. That was Dax Daniel right in the middle of the worst place on the track at the hairpin. And I'll tell you what, Fitness nearly shut himself. I'll give you the hot tip. They were literally side by side until that point of knot. One went to the inside, one went to the outside. But Fitness now will be looking at this and going, okay, I'm still at the pace over Schmerley. Can I get the job done here with 40 seconds left in this race? This is going to be the last one of this around time, I reckon. The precision is ready to rock and roll. Falzon is in front, but now Fabian is close enough here for a great overtake send. Can he get the job done? Schmerley's gone defensive here. He's going to go right to the inside. Not far enough though for Fitness, because Fitness has just said, bang, I'll take that one off you, son, and I'll take P3 if I can get it hold up and pulled up at the right time. Schmerley's giving him a bit back there, but he's giving him a little bit of a nudge and said, that's all right, son, you keep going. And here comes the rest of them. Schmerley's involved, Warwick's involved, Banachek's involved. Oh, this is incredible stuff here from the rest of them. Where is Falzon now? He's racing around the final track. You can see there that Bill Cosmarikas has entered himself into the server, but this man right now is your winner for the Tier 2s. He's absolutely sung it through the high heavens, dominated 28 seconds, compound change and whatever. Matthias Falzon, the Greek god, or Matthias Falzon, whatever you want to call him, takes a win. Absolutely done all over by the shouting, but it's not over here at the moment. We've still got a little episode of a battle here. We've got Schmerley versus Fullis. Let's have a look at Fullis is on board here quickly before we can see what's going on. He's got Warwick right behind him as well. This is incredible stuff. Who's going to get the best run here onto the final lap of the race? We've got, this is the 2 quarters. Oh no!
Oh, no!
And Fullis has been turned around there by Steve Warwick. Warwick's lost a position, so is Fullis. And there goes Banachek into 5th place. Oh, you couldn't have read about it. Sam Spencer crosses the line in 2nd. Fitness in 3rd. Schmerley in 4th. Banachek comes across in 5th place. And then I'll tell you what, Fat Man, if that was the last lap dash of absolute attrition, Fullis versus Warwick, I'll tell you what, Fullis is going to be dirty at Warwick at that one. That was disastrous there. They've lost a bit of position, but man of the match so far, Braden Moore crosses the line in 8th, takes the top 10 for him. Rico Zach's coming into the pits because he forgot to bloody pit. I'll tell you that much for the last one. And then Clayton Waters going to take his position. 10th place. Johnny Singleton's also come through in 10th place as well. And then Rick Zach in 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th. Crowther's got through in 12th, 13th for Wallace. The Braveheart, William Wallace. And they've given him a punt and run there to finish the laps. What is JoJo Higgins doing? She is finished in 15th. Jimmy Park in 16th place. Richard King, Dax Daniel, 18th respectively for him. Luke Brock, unfortunately for him, came a proper at the start. Had to do a drive-through and then another pit stop. So that's going to send him right to the back with Grey Ward in the SimSational TV van. That's not his car. But anyway, he had a server disconnection and hardware failure. And Bill Cosmarigas came in at the last dying moments to have a good race there. But what a race there by this man. Matthias Falzon, yep, do whatever you want there, Lindsay Muddle. Dominated that one, 28.5 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, is it too early to state the obvious? Get him up a tier, get him with the main boys. That is an absolute Max Verstappen in F1-esque performance. That 28.3 seconds, that's absurd. That is some great driving from Matthias Falzon to take the win. He's trying to drift it, and he is doing it fairly successfully. He did take a little bit of a tour into the wall though a little bit earlier on, but just sliding it out of the final corner, SVG style, and he's gonna take it into the pit lane now. But yeah, that was an absolutely cracking race, and I did not expect Warwick to tap Fullis around there. I just did not see that coming at all. No
one did. That was a last minute dive of an attempt there. I think there was a little bit of Fullis, I reckon, probably pretty bit of conservatism, if that's even a word, for him into the final corner, just trying to nail that exit and not be under threat there from Warwick. But Warwick did tap him, and that's all it takes here, right on the point of the grip adhesion, and that's all it takes for a position from 4th all the way down to 6th for him. Banachek takes over that one. But the man of the match is Falzon. Samuel Spencer, on debut, comes in. Mr. Hoodlum himself in 2nd place. Cracking drive from him. Fabian Fitness, first time out in the Tier 2s, and just dominates with a 3rd place as well from 10th on the grid. Brandon Schmerl in 4th. Banachek, cracking drive from him in 5th. Fullis in 6th. And then we've got the rest to go through. So let's have a quick look at that one. Boyos and girlos out there in viewership land. That is your final positions. 28.5 seconds. Put him up into Tier 1, says Lindsay Muddle. Sam Spencer for 2nd place. Fabian Fitness 3rd. Schmerly, Banachek, Fullis 4th, 5th and 6th respectively. Warwick, Braden Moore in 8th place. Clayton Waters in 9th. Johnny Singleton, great move to get himself inside the top 10 there. Just missed that on stream, but he got himself up there. Joel Ashak in 11th place. Lee Crowther in 12th on debut as well. Mr. Braveheart himself, William Wallace in 13th place. Rick Zach in 14th. JoJo Higgins, Jimmy Park, Richard King, Dax Daniel are your final position getters there, with Luke Brock and Grey Ward 20th and Bill Cosmarigas 21st there on the grid. Round out that 30-minute special of racing, ladies and gentlemen. That was something to behold in Jamuddle. Cracking drive there from Matthias Falzon, battling all up and down the field. I'll tell you what, that was beautiful to watch from everyone inside the top 10.
Yeah, it really was. It was absolutely cracking stuff. And I mean, Fitness was just absolutely going for it in that race. I did not expect to see that many sends from Fabian, but he was just giving it absolutely everything. So was everyone else. But I think that if I had to give a shout out to one driver in particular, it would be Fabian Fitness. He had no restraint in that race.
No, absolutely none. Release the shackles on his own bed. And I'll tell you what, the Misso was pretty angry about it. Usually the submission in the bedroom department there was Fabian Fitness. But nonetheless, he is back in 3rd place. Cracking racing. That is Tier 2. Done, won, and run, ladies and gentlemen. That is your championship at the moment for them. Round 3. We've still got another 4 to go, if you don't believe it. And a endurance special coming our way at the end of it. But what a cracking race. Good to have everyone with us tonight. Fabian Fitness just giving the old sigh there in 3rd place, mate. You should be happy about that in the chat. Good to see a lot of you guys in there as well. Cracking to have you all along with us for tonight. And don't worry, the racing is still going to go on here, ladies and gentlemen. We have got the Tier 1 boys ready to rock and roll in just a few minutes' time. Their qualifying is about to start soon. So we've got very, very much so a beautiful rate of attrition coming our way. That's Tier 2 done. Beautiful spectacle there of racing. What can the Tier 1 boys? We'll find out in just a few moments. So get back, sit back, relax, enjoy the show. get yourself those condiments refilled here because we've got qualifying and 3 races to come here in Tier 1 Gen 3 V8 Supercars AK Racing Style here by Lindsay Muddle and Zach O'Reilly at SimSational TV. You know what to do. Don't go anywhere. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, this is your Tier 1 special for tonight. Let's get through the standings before qualifying gets underway here very, very quickly. This is your team standings at the moment. Project 4 is absolutely dominating at the moment. 2,338 points for them. Only 100, or not even, about 100, no, 90, what is that, 97 points behind them is AK Racing. MBR in 3rd place. Square Dozen Racing 4th. Monster Energy Racing 5th. And then we've got Rang Out Simblacks, the 2nd tier, absolutely dominating the 1st tier there. Rang Out TFW STT of Dean Hanley there, who will be out there on track very soon in 7th. Rang Out Simblacks in 8th. BAM in 9th and KMR in 10th. I'll tell you what, these boys here are ready to rock and roll. Alex McEwen is leading the championship here, but only by 8 points there over Matt Cotter. And Nick Mallow a little bit far behind for the 3rd position there. Harley Marshall in 4th. Brandon Pierce, 5th place. Jack Ferguson, 6th place, not far behind him. And only really, really close to Scotty Corden behind him in 7th place. Ferguson and Andrew and McFadden, Andre Elliott round out your top 10 with Will Kirk. Dino Hanley in 12th place and 11th respectively there for Kirky. Jesse Marshall, Benny Aspin, Dion Clerk, Nathan Hughes, 14th, 15th, 16th. 17th, 18th, 19th goes to Alan Nielsen, Ezra Simons, Daniel Cicluna, Lachlan Grant in 20th place there, as well as we go through the final position grids. Scotty Garrick, Egmanis and Clint Goff. Luke Ewing, unfortunately, 24th out for the season. He's done. Matt Munro rounding out the final racing in there in the 25th place. But the 2 promoted drivers are Cook, Ryan Nielsen and Tony DeLuca. So this is exciting stuff here as we go out for the rest of the racing here tonight. And I'll tell you what, this man out in front at the moment, Dean Hanley was out in front, but he's got done by Nick Mallow. I'll tell you what, these boys here at this stage are ready to rock and roll. I'm sorry about that one. It's gone there, the old real penalty, giving us all the issues there on stream as well. But Nick Hamello, at the moment, Lindsay Muddle, rounds us out here for 11 minutes of qualifying session ready to go. We've got about 9 laps of hot laps. Let's rock and roll, shall we?
Yeah, I can't wait to see this. We've just seen what the Tier 2 boys were able to get out of the cars, pushing it in race format. But I haven't seen these cars in quali trim, and this circuit would be fun to qualify at. From what I've seen of it so far, it just looks very on the limit. And now we're going to be on board with Nick Mello for a lap of Hidden Valley Raceway as he makes his way towards turn 1 now. It's going to be a very, very long left-hander, so spot your braking point on the right-hand side, smash the brakes halfway between the 100 and the 150, take it out to the outside line, cut it back across and straighten up the car for the exit, slingshot it out and be nice and careful, tiptoe back on the throttle in these supercars, otherwise they will bite, and they'll bite hard, completely flat up through the crest, hard on the anchors again for a slow speed right-hander, a little bit wide there from Nick Mello, and then get it back across for the very, very, very slow hairpin. This is great for the racing though. A very late apex from Mello, and he just absolutely pulls it up on the exit and makes sure the car doesn't get squirrely. Just a little bit of a wide moment there through the fast right-hander, and then completely send it over the top of the crest. The car will get light, and then cut it across left again, and then open up the final corner, heavy on the anchors, get to the apex, power out of the corner, and that is a lap of Hidden Valley Raceway from Nick Mello. What is the first lap time of the qualifying session going to be as he crosses the line? It is going to be a 1 minute 7.7. Yeah,
beautiful stuff there, but he's done already because those couple of errors have handed him the rate of attrition from the races behind him. McEwen, Cotter and Marshall right in bang in there. And you can see Cotter McEwen basically right up there. The quickest lap times of the week was done by myself. No worries about that. 106.354 I think it was. But that's where these boys are sitting. They've got to be doing the 106s or odd in qualifying. So these boys have got to get their first banker lap in. You can see Nick Mallow at the moment really, really driving so well so far. It's the quickest first sector done and dusted by him. What can he do here for another lap on the exterior camera from him? We'll see what Nick Mallow can put together for his second fast lap of the race. Everyone's done their bankers, and have a look at how tight it is, ladies and gentlemen. You've got not even a second from first down to 15th on the racetrack. This is exciting stuff. Nick Mallow, he was on the charge here. He's already 4.5 tenths up on his personal best here so far with a 1:07.7 was his last lap. This is going to put him into the low 1:07. No, 1:06.957 for him. Puts it on pole, but then Matt Cotter goes bang and says, I'll take you through some with a bit of a slipstream help there as well from that. So Matt Cotter right into the top podium positions at the moment. 1:06.893. Mallow McEwen only separated by a B-stick, and they're racing for sheep stations. You can see Lachlan Grant's just come through now for a 1:07.820. 9 tenths off the pace actually there between him. Alan Nielsen's doing a great job there. Comes across the line in 6th place. Only half a second splitting the top 5 at the moment here with 6.5 minutes or just over it thereabouts ready to rock and roll. Brian Nielsen, however, injected himself into the tier 1s, and here he goes. So we've got to look out for this man. 3rd place overall, 700ths of a second, if you don't mind, over the rest of the field. I'll tell you what, it is so tight at the top. Not even a tenth is splitted between the top 4 here at the moment. Lindsay Muddle, big gap, half a second, all the way down to 1 second between himself and Matt Munro is Brandon Pierce. But geez Louise, it's all happening here for the rest of the circuit at this point in time. Everyone's on purple sectors here. I don't know where to look.
Yeah, this is absolutely incredible stuff here in this qualifying session. The margins very, very small. Matt Munro absolutely flying along at the moment. He was purple in the first. That's been taken away. I don't know by who. He's rounding the final corner. We'll see where he jumps up to in the leaderboard in a moment. Harley Marshall has now begun a lap time in the white Red Bull liveried car. Matt Munro across the line, 11th place for the Red Bull liveried Chevy Camaro. It's good to see Camaro 1, 2, 3 after a Mustang 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in tier 2. As Harley Marshall also pushing around in a Camaro. He's just a little bit down through the first sector, or more than a little bit. It's about 6 tenths, and he's continuing to slap, so maybe not a maximum push lap here from Harley Marshall, just maybe cooling down to go again after a mistake in the first sector. But Harley Marshall currently sitting on pole position anyway, so I don't think that he is too bothered in the grand scheme of things. Matt Cotter currently sitting a 10th up as he rounds the final corner, so this will get him very, very close to Marshall, but it won't jump him up, as actually he loses a lot of time towards the line. But as he crosses, it is an improvement by a little bit, and there's Alex McEwen finally arriving on the scene in pole position where he usually is, and he takes the provisional pole in this qualifying session. He's just unstoppable.
Yeah, he is. He's absolutely on the absolute limit. The ragged edge, you can see him using all the track limits and a bit more there, going off into the dust. But 21/100ths of a second there over him and Harley Marshall there in the pits already, as Harley has got to get back out for his last lap dash at qualifying. The tyres come on here, ladies and gentlemen, about 2 or 3 laps in to your qualifying session. And you can see here, McEwen's already up on his own personal best by another 1/10 of a second in the Sector 1 as well. We'll see what Sector 2 brings him as he rounds that'll be turn 9 and 10 as well. We've got into 11 here. Then we've got 12 coming right up here now as it crosses his final sector. Timing now in just a hot second there. Oh, he's a 10th and a bit down, but still up overall. Just on the hairy point of not there for Alex McEwen. What can he do on the final exit of the corner? He can't get anything done. He's a 10th down on his personal best, but he'll know what to do for the next one. This is incredible stuff. He won't get through there on that one, but unfortunately, at the moment for Harley Marshall, he's only 21/100ths of a personal best. Ron Marshall, get in the chat and tell us how good your son is going at the moment. Look at the Oracle Red Bull ready to rock and roll there for him. But nonetheless, Nick Mallow trying to get himself on a banker. He is now on his first hot lap of this one. Only 3/10 of a second is splitting the top 5, ladies and gentlemen. That's how close it is. Again, all the way down to 14th place. It's only a second between the rest of them. Dino Hanley, however, so I'll tell you what, he's not doing the old Zach O'Reilly school of driving proud at the moment. Sitting there in 13th place, Dino. I know what you can do, mate. You can do way better than that. You told me to give you shit on the stream. I'm going to give it to you now. Get on your horse there. Kirsty, get in his ear and just tell him that he is driving not too shabby at the moment, but he could be better. And he's up here on his own personal best. A 10th up at the moment here for qualifying. 3 minutes is just about to tick over left in this one, which means we've probably got about 3 laps left of this Hidden Valley hot lap session for the tier 1s. What is Dano going to do? He's up 4/10 overall at the moment on his personal best. This is going to jump him a fair way up the grid, but he pulls into the pits and just says, I've had enough What is he going to do? Is he going to come out for a last lap dash there at the moment? Nonetheless, it's all happening here. Nick Mello still 5 tenths off his personal best on his banker lap at the moment. 6 tenths down the bottom left, right-hand side of your screen. You can see that. Has Marshall got anything to answer for Alex McEwen, Lindsay Muddle? Still, not even half a second split in the top 6.
Yeah, Alex McEwen as well also just came out of the pit lane. He's getting ready for one last dash. So let's see what Harley Marshall is going to do as he heads on to a flying lap here of Hidden Valley Raceway. And it is absolutely crunch time here in this qualifying session. 2 minutes to go, just over. So it is absolutely the last moment in time to improve here. In these last 2 minutes, it's a big commitment into turn 1 from Harley Marshall, but he's gotten a full handful of opposite lock there on the exit, but just about comes out even on his previous best lap time. But he's going to need 0.02 of a second if he wants to take provisional pole off of Alex McEwen as he heads into the hairpin, and it's a 10th down at the moment through the first sector, through the hairpin, now negotiating at a tighter line than we see from the likes of, say, Nick Mello, only 2 positions back. And Harley Marshall getting the slingshot off the exit, but a car in front is really not helping, and that's really hindered Harley Marshall, who's gotten a full load of opposite lock there, and a big back off moment for Harley Marshall. That is not what you want on a flying lap. You don't want a car sitting right in front of you.
No, you don't, but nonetheless, I think Clint Goff, that was him in front of Harley Marshall there, has just stuffed it up on the exit himself. So Harley Marshall, even though he gave his way a little bit of room, I don't think that's going to be something that he has to think about again, because he'll catch Clint Goff there at a rate of knots. Mr. Fargoff himself in 18th place, 1.5 seconds off the pace where Harley Marshall is. That's not enough time to get yourself in clean air. Fargoff's going to be right in his way once again, and you can see Harley Marshall's got a beautiful exit there out of turn 1. He's up a 10th on his own personal time here, and he's going to get held up once again, unfortunately there. You can see what that bit of dirty air does for himself. He still says he's up by 0.02 of a second. Overall, he's trying everything he possibly can, but it's going to hurt him in the long run, unfortunately, for Harley Marshall. What's Alex McEwen doing? He is down as well on his own personal best, so I think it's going to be a dead set mare for the front row. But Matt Cotter, he's on the charge here, but he's got cars in front of him too, giving him the last bit of curry there for qualifying. Oh, that was disaster there. Oh, we got contact in qualifying. Dean Hanley's been pushed off the grid. Brandon Pierce has got up himself into 5th place himself. Matt Cotter is still up in his own personal best here. Can he get a ripper of a run? He can out of the final corner. He's a 10th up in his own personal best. Oh, this is going to take over Nick Mello and Harley Marshall's party if he gets across the line. Oh, he takes Nick Mello. Done and dusted there for 3rd place. The dying moments there, only by a bee's dick, unfortunately, there for Dino Hanley. I think that was disaster for him. He got taken out there by one of the Marshall Brothers racing team. Nielsen's gone into the pits into 5th place. Brandon Pierce put himself into the top 5 there for himself as well at the moment. Has he got anything? No, he's just he's galloped off. He's done into the distance. As qualifying session, he's well and truly over, ladies and gentlemen. Brandon Pierce at the moment in 5th place. Nathan Hughes behind him, not on a flyer as well. You can see the rest of them. Jack Ferguson at the moment trying to get himself further up the grid. He's made it around there in time, so he's 1.5 tenths up at the moment. What can Snoozy do himself? He's up 1/10 at the moment, just teetering around the edge. He's got to get himself at least 2 tenths up the grid to jump Alan Nielsen there in 8th place. Can he get the job done? No, on the final corner, he's had an absolute mare. He's not going to make it through the final corner. He's just on the personal best here of his own self, and he jumps across the line into 9th place. He goes with a 107.5. Didn't get past Alan Nielsen there, unfortunately, but closed the gap a little bit more. But the man on pole is this man, Alex McEwen, leading the championship, and by a country mile at the moment here in the pace department. You can see the difference there as we try to get rid of that bloody checkered flag there. Don't worry about it. We'll go to the official ones while he does his cool down lap. That is Alex McEwen by 0.02 of a second. Couldn't get any more improvement out of the car for the rest of them, and I've blitzed them by 3.5 tenths there in the fair dinkum department. Jeez, I should be out there racing.
We get it, Zach.
Yeah, we get it. Yeah, I know. 106.707 for Harley Marshall. Matt Cotter in 3rd place. Not even a 10th of a second thereabouts. Splits the top 4 in qualifying. That is incredible stuff. This is going to absolutely go off in the racing department. Brandon Pierce is behind Nick Mello for 5th place. Nielsen in 6th. Matt Munro in 7th place. Good drive from him. 4 tenths off it. Nathan Hughes in 8th. Cracking drive from him as well. Will Kirk, the captain, in 9th. Andrew Ferguson rounds out the top 10. And Lindsay Muddle, who have we got there from 11th onwards?
Well, I would tell you, but Zach, you know what we were
Cannot see
speaking
a
about
shit.
earlier on? Yeah, I can't
Cannot see anything. Oh, well. Alan Nielsen is on 11th. 12th place for Lachlan Grant. 13th place for Jack Ferguson. Commentary dilemmas here in the SimSational TV box. 14th for Andre Elliott. 15th for Dino Hanley. Absolutely dog shit in the feeding department there from Dino Hanley. Hayden Cook, the chef man, injected himself into 16th. 107.750 for him. Only a thousandths split Cook and Garrick between 16th and 17th position there. That is so tight. You don't want to know about it. Jesse Marshall, Tony DeLuca, and Clint Goff round out your top 20. And that is it. 20 races on the track here for Tier 1. And that is qualifying. Done, won, and run, ladies and gentlemen. As Lindsay Muddle just gets himself set and prepared with some twisties in the background. Ready to rock and roll. I need some condiments ready to rock and roll for myself here too. So you know what to do at SimSational TV out there in viewership land. Massive, massive thank you for Grey Ward's gifting the $10 there in chat. You're an absolute legend. Thank you very much, Grey Ward. Let's go, Harley, says Matt Hagelman from Sly Fox Designs. Fabian Fitness says penalty time as well. Ron Marshall just giving me the old sarcasm in the chat there. You can thank you very much there for that, Ron Marshall. And P5, not bad for Pearso in the chat as well for the rest of them. But race 1 is about to kick off, ladies and gentlemen. Get yourself strapped in. 11-lap sprint coming our way, and you know what that means. That's going to mean absolute mayhem from the start of the finish, finish straight into turn 1. Hopefully the boys can keep it clean here and listen to the driver's briefing. But we'll be back here at SimSational TV. Lindsay Muddle, Zach O'Reilly in the commentary box here tonight to call a racing action. We'll be back in just a hot second.
Second time.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are back for the Race 1 event here tonight. And I'll tell you what, as we look at that grid, 20 cars on the track here for Tier 1. Absolutely ready to rock and roll. 1:50 seconds left in this one to go before lights out. Alex McEwen is taking off the front row with Harley Marshall right next to him. Only 200ths of a second splitting those two. That is going to be race on here. We're on basically on softs. Everyone will be silly to go on a hard tyre. It is an 11-lap sprint coming their way. The soft tyres tend to last about 11 to 13 laps here. So they're all going to go hammer and tong. Wherever they finish in this one is the starting grid for the race 2 coming their way, a 20-lapper as well. But tell you what, Matt Cotto in 3rd and Nick Muller in 4th place. We're looking to take amends where the sun doesn't shine. Brandon Pierce, Nielsen 5th and 6th respectively. Matt Munro, Nathan Hughes and Will Kirk with Andrew Ferguson rounding out the top 10 there. Alan Nielsen and Lachlan Grant in 11th and 12th respectively. Jack Ferguson, Andre Elliott, Dean Hanley, 13th, 14th and 15th respectively, with Cook, the chef man, Garrick, Marshall and DeLuca, with Clint Goff rounding out the back of the grid. Lindsay Muddle, give us your predictions here for this one.
Well, I mean, is it even a prediction when Alex McEwen starts on pole, Zach O'Reilly? Like, let's be honest here. Unless somehow he locks up and pulls a Spencer, right?
Well, let's be real. Come on, give us something hyperbole. Thank you very much, Fabian Fitness, as well, for the $2.99 in the chat. Go on, Lindsay.
I think okay. Let's actually be an excited commentator. How about that? I think Matt Munro could find himself finding his way through the field. He is normally a good elbows out racer when you actually get into, especially sprint race formats. I've had a good couple of side-by-side moments with him. He just loves to absolutely go for it, get the elbows out, and he finds himself in a better position than where he started. Beautiful stuff there. That's your prediction. Get us in the chat as well, ladies and gents, because the lights are up. We're about to go racing here, ladies and gentlemen, and it looks like we're going to have a lights out, and the way we go. Here he is, Alex McEwen. He's got a beautiful start. Harley Marshall's got just as good a start as him. He hasn't made up too much ground there off the front row. But there goes Alex McEwen into the lead. What can Matt Cotter do behind him as well as we all round the first turn here? Everyone 2 or 3 wide there at the stack. Oh, no, you can see there, Marshall and McEwen having a good crack at each other. McEwen on the inside line. There's a 3-wide battle there between Nielsen, Pierce and Munro. All having a good crack at each other here for the opening lap here. Turn 1's navigated beautifully. We've only seen one car go off in the background. Unfortunately there for him, that was the chef. Unfortunately way back down in their grid. But now, Ryan Nielsen right in the back. Smoke signals coming from every single car there as they lock up on
on cold tyres there for the soft compound as well. These boys are ready to rock and roll. Nielsen in the thick of it here. You can see there in front of him. Oh, a bit of nargy-bargy there between Fergo and I reckon that was Kirk there too. In the background there, Pearso's lost the position there. The Matt Munro in the grand scheme of things are all rounding their way. It's only a minute here, minute and 10 seconds actually for the first lap, and they're all navigating it beautifully. No one really off at this stage there. Will Kirk in a good tussle here. Nielsen also in a great tussle. He's got Matt Munro, Brandon Pierce in front of him with Fergo, Kirk and Nielsen behind him, but still it is Alex McEwen there at the start of the race, lead from the lap 1, taking it into lap 1 as well. Into lap 2 we go there in the lead. Harley Marshall 5/10 behind him, but he's got Matt Cotter here coming up at a rate of knots here. What's Cotter going to do on the brakes? Nothing at the moment. They look very, very tasty indeed. There's Matt Cotter's two compatriots in front of him. He'll be looking ready to rock and roll. Marshall there, no oversteer on exit. In fact, there's a commentator cursing Marshall and Cotter. Bit of oversteer on exit there, but that is a cracking first lap battle. Here, Matt Cotter's going to go for the send, but Harley Marshall none the wiser. Can he get it pulled up into turn 1? He can. On the slide there, he was there, Lindsay Buttle. This is cracking racing from the top 3 at the moment. Nothing but a bee's dick between them.
Yep, they're very much sliding all over the place at the moment. Nick Mello as well in the background, just sizing them up, maybe falling away just a little bit more, but he's still within 1 second, and any sort of mistake can bring him right back into it. Matt Munro already up into 5th place, making my prediction true for the moment, as Cotter putting all the pressure on Marshall at the moment through the final couple of corners. This section is so hooked up. You've just got to get it absolutely right and get a good run towards turn 1, and that's exactly what Matt Cotter's done, as he has the slipstream and he's closing in on Harley Marshall towards turn 1. He didn't get a move done at turn 1 last lap, but this time around, oh, what's happened there?
Whoa.
That was a very big slow up mid-straight. Is it a safety car?
It is a safety car.
It's a safety car. That caught me off guard. I was like, why is Marshall braking in the middle of the straight?
Holy mackerel, that was nearly disaster there, Lindsay, for poor old Matt Cotter. Nearly sent Harley Marshall into oblivion. The safety car has been called on lap 1 already, ladies and gentlemen. So, that's out in front there. The old safety car, you can see it there, the Ford Raptor, ready to rock and roll. Driven and led there by Turkey Bays to Simmons himself, just going around there at a good little pace there, and it is all checked up for the rest of the field. So now they bunch up, Lindsay. Now they've got something to think about here. We're going to see 1 lap procession of the safety car. We're going to see another 2-lapper come out from him, but look at the 8K Racing Raptor looking very, very nice indeed. And you can see the boys just getting back into their rhythms. Everyone's bunched up. They're all within a second of each other, so to speak. And I'll tell you what, Turkey Baster here just showing us where the lines are on the circuit in that Ford Raptor. But a little bit of a lull in proceedings. We saw a car off track at turn 1, right in the background. Couldn't get himself back on the circuit. So a safety car has been called there by the race directions. And it is looking spicy here at the moment. Look at the onboard here from Harley Marshall. He is right up the clacker there of Alex McEwen, ready to rock once that safety car does peel into the pits. And you can see there the lights are still on and he's still tracking around, but he's taken off into the distance. So I think here we're about to go racing, Lindsay. What can Harley Marshall do here on Alex McEwen?
Yep, McEwen was starting to run away a little bit on lap 2, but now there's a second opportunity here for Marshall, but McEwen's absolutely bolted very, very early there from the Ford Mustang, and he's caught Marshall napping, but Cotter has not been caught napping. He is going to absolutely send it here. He's going a long way round. Marshall defending the inside, as well as Matt Munro and Nick Mello going side by side in the background as well. There's lockups all around here at turn 1. Matt Munro's a bit wide. Cotter is also still alongside Marshall, but runs out of road on the exit, but Matt and Mello just still going at it here in the middle sector, but Cotter super close behind Marshall. He's going to go for it late, braking towards the apex. He gets onto the curb and can't quite get past or alongside Harley Marshall. He's putting on a defensive display at the moment for the ages as well. There's a little bit of a tap there from Cotter trying to find any way past. He backs out of the throttle, lets Marshall go again. McEwen's already got a second out in the distance, and this is absolutely cracking racing here inside the top 5. Everything kicking off, and in the background as well, that's a couple of cars off in the background. It's Nielsen who's taken a trip across the grass, as well as Ferguson as well in P16. They both took a trip off to take a grassy adventure, but that's not the racing line, would you believe it? They're not in lawnmowers, they're in V8 Supercars. As back up the front, Matt Cotter only 2.5 tenths behind Harley Marshall towards turn 1, but it's not going to be close enough to go for a move this time, but we know Cotter's desperate. He's been trying to find a move every single opportunity he gets. It's a big lockup at turn 1. And he's still hounding the back of Marshall, who just can't seem to shake Cotter here through the first sector. This is where Cotter's at his strongest, and he's alongside this time. He's well and truly alongside. He slots in front. Marshall trying to switch back into the hairpin. There's contact. That's a big grass line there on the exit for Cotter, who keeps the car going in a straight line. There's wheel rubbing between the two quick customers here in the middle sector, but they both keep it going in the right direction, and Cotter finally moving up into second position.
Yeah, cracking stuff there from Matt Cotter. Just got the elbows out at the right point there. Then got himself past Harley Marshall. So now Nick Mellow's got a case to answer here as well. Can he get past Harley Marshall there in third place respectively? Matt Munro's looking at all this battling in front of him and thinking, oh, I'm on here for half a chance. I guarantee you that. But nonetheless, beautiful stuff there. Racing-wise, it looks like Nick Mellow's got half a run here on Harley Marshall. No, she's a little bit too far back at this point of knots. He's right at the top of 6th gear now, limmy bashing as he comes down the front straightaway. Marshall Brothers Racing there on the background. You can see there Matt Cotter's gone the wide, late apex and then early exit sort of style there. And it's hurt everyone in front of him because, behind him, sorry, because Marshall Brothers Racing of Harley didn't get the job done. Neither did Nick Mello there too. So a little bit of toing and froing on the racing line department. It's all happening in the background. Unfortunately, Jesse's gone a proper here and he's going back at a rate of knots here. He's gone way past, way down the grid. Now Dean Hanley and Hayden Cook have got past him too. So a little bit of a tussling going on here and in the little positions here for the racing event. Dean Hanley's got himself up into 16th place at the moment. Can he keep it on for the racing? He's on the soft compound, as is everyone on the track, just trying to race hammer and tong here. Wherever you finish in this race is where you start for the next one too. So keep that in mind for everyone. But Alex McEwen out in front by 1.5 seconds there over the rest of the field, just skipping away there. Nick Mello versus Harley Marshall. The battling is going on here between these two. Not far enough up the road at the moment is that man in Nick Mello, but Nielsen is only 2 or 3 tenths away. Can he get a move here on the magician Brandon Pierce? What are we going to see from the both of them? Up the inside he goes. Ryan Nielsen going for the late apex. Brandon trying to hug it right on the inside, but gets it pointed beautifully there on exit. Is it going to hurt him in the long run? You can see here from the front position of Ryan Nielsen's camera there, you can see Pearso's Mustang. It's two of them line abreast. Pearso's gone way defensive there. He's hooked it up and he's lost it. He's off it to the bunda, and that is an easiest overtake for the night there for Ryan Nielsen. Pearso's going to be in trouble here because here comes the captain around the outside in a Sim Black's livery as well, trying to get that job done. Go for the switch back up the inside, cuts off Pearso's nose. Then they're going side by side here into the very complex turn 9 section. Can they get the job done? Very nicely there from Captain as well. But Nielsen's coming proper. He is way off in the bunda there, unfortunately, for Alan Nielsen. Not where he wants to be. He got punted off at turn 4 and way back down the grid. He goes into 17th place also there. And it looks like Andrew Ferguson was there too. But maybe a Garrick versus Nielsen battle, or maybe even a Jack Ferguson. He's holding up, waiting for Nielsen to come past him. Oh, that's disaster there from the rest of them, but it's happening here. You can see here Kirk is all over the back there of Pearso now. Coming down front, straight away we go. It is Pierce versus Kirk. The captain's going to go late on the brakes. Pearso's brave on the outside. Going to get the job done on the slide there was Captain Kirk. But he gets that beautifully done there. Switches back up the inside. Says thank you very much, mother for the rabbits. Hughes is involved in this one too. I'll tell you what. Hughes here right on the back there of Brandon Pierce now. And Pearso still looking for a switchback move there on the captain because he thought he got outdone there. Just slides on the inside and his contact. Oh no, there goes the captain around. And unfortunately, Pearso's going to have to let that one redress surely. But here goes Lachlan Grant around the outside trailer park girl style. Just at a rate of knots there. He's got the job done. But B comes captain again. Door banging on the inside there of Lachlan Grant. Lachlan Grant right up his clacker there too. They're going to go 2 by 2 around the outside. Noah's Ark style. And just gets the job done there. There's Lachlan Grant. Pearso, a bit of contact there, should have redressed that. But nonetheless, Captain Kirk, Lachlan Grant and Brandon Pierce all having a cracking battle here over 9th, 10th and 8th respectively.
Yeah, these guys are absolutely going for it at the moment, and Pearso pulling off to the left-hand side, but he is redressing the position now to Kirk as they head towards turn 1, and Will is also going to have the run here on Lachlan Grant towards turn 1, but he's going to be forced a long way around here. It's a tricky move to pull off the outside move at turn 1, but right now he looks like he's absolutely going to get it done. But as you head through the second part of turn 1, the road does run out, but with a little bit of a snap, a little bit of an eager touch on the throttle, he is going to pull alongside and get past. There was contact there through the flat out complex. That could have gone very, very wrong. Pearso now sees an opportunity to try go up the inside, but couldn't get that one done. Lachlan Grant still trying to pressure the back of Kirk, but nothing going at the moment. Dean Hanley moving past Goff at the, for the P11 position as well, further down the back. So they are slowly closing up as well to this little battle as all these incidents continue to occur, and all these just little shoves and pushes that just all slows them up and brings the cars behind. And that's Elliott. That's Andre Elliott, very far off the circuit. Believe it or not, I don't know if that's the racing line. Zach O'Reilly, you are the quickest man around this circuit. Could you please enlighten me?
Well, I'll tell you what, anything but on that black grey looking stuff there is not the quickest way around the circuit. Anyone can tell you that. And Doc has opted for the green stuff. Maybe a bit of Hong Kong's going his way at the end of the session if he gets further down than 15th place, because he's doing a good job of it at the moment, because Scotty Garrick's just gone bang, and he's going to draft him down the front straight away. Look at these two, neck and neck, side by side, door banging nearly there, and Garrick's just on the slide there at the moment in the AC karting, and he's put it too wide there. He's going to lose all position. There goes Andre Elliott up the inside. Thank you very much, mother, for the rabbits, he says, and I'll take that position straight off. Scotty Garrick got a bit too ambitious there under braking, and did not make that move stick, unfortunately. It was the opportune moment for his life, but geez Louise, it's all happening here. And same thing for Tony DeLuca at this in the white livery at the moment. Sorry, we'll try to get that sorted. Oh no, you can see there, that is Jesse Marshall in the background there, or the foreground, just getting really loose. Managed to keep it going here, but I'll tell you what, DeLuca versus Marshall is the battle at the moment here at this point of the circuit, coming through the 10, 11, 12 complex here. What can DeLuca do? We'll see what he looks like on board here at the moment. He's got nothing in the way at the moment, because Marshall Brothers Racing of Jesse there is too far out in front. They're both going for it, hammer and tong, but Jesse just takes it away there at the moment. I'll tell you what, very, very good stuff. I'll tell you what, fastest lap of the race at the moment goes to Dean Hanley. A 1:07.47. Just a beautiful exhibition here of driving so far for Dino. He's got the chockies on at the moment. You can see that little bit of a wheel work there. Sim Black's rang out, ready to go for Dino. And he's got a little bit of a gap here in front of him. 2.1 seconds between the next guy on the circuit as well. But I'll tell you what, this battle here has not let go, Lindsay Muddle. Lachlan Grant versus the Captain Kirk and Brandon Pierce just sort of sitting in the foreground there as well, looking to have a good move here between the two of them. What can Captain Kirk conjure up here? Can he get the afterburners on and skip away from Lachlan Grant, or is Grant just going to absolutely sail through here at a rate of knots and take that P8 off Captain?
Well, from what we've seen so far, it doesn't look like Kirk can get away from Lachlan Grant, who's just been driving an absolute stellar race at the moment. A couple of wheel rubbing moments between these two as well here, as wait, I didn't even realise it was the last lap. Zach O'Reilly, Alex McEwen taking the victory here in the 11-lap sprint, and it just came so quickly, didn't it? Oh,
it did. I'm sorry. That was the studio commentator's fault there. Last lap of the race, it all happened before we even thought about it. Ladies and gentlemen, 11 laps is done. McEwen's your winner. Cotter is second. Harley Marshall in third place. Nick Mello in fourth place as well. Matt Munro comes through in fifth. This is your grid for the next one too, ladies and gentlemen. Ron Nielsen in sixth. Nathan Hughes comes through in seventh place. He'll be stoked about that, just drifting his way through the circuit there of Hidden Valley. Captain Kirk in eighth. Lachlan Grant in ninth. And Brandon Pierce rounds out the final 10th position. Dean Hanley in 11th place. Bit of something to think about for him for the next one. Clint Goff, or Fargoff, as we like to call him, in 12th place. Cook, 13th. Jesse Marshall in 14th, not too far behind. Hayden Cook was Marshall at the end of it. DeLuca in 15th place. Doc Elliott in 16th, and Scotty Garrick, Ferguson, and Jack in Andrew, both rounding at 18th and 9th, respectively, of Alan Nielsen. The last man, and looking a bit worse for wear there, is Alan Nielsen. Apologies to everyone who was supporting Alex McEwen there. Did not catch him for the final lap of the race, but he won it, and that's where he's going to start for race 2. Don't you worry about that. Only a second away, too, from Matt Cotter. Matt Cotter did get past Harley Marshall and galloped on the way. So this could be interesting for race 2 here for the rest of the proceedings. But there's your 1, 2, 3 there, ladies and gentlemen. McEwen, Cotter, and Harley Marshall in there, ready to rock and roll for them. 1, 2, and 3 respectively, as we just called the action beautifully up until the last point of not there. Lindsay Muddle, give us a slap in the commentary box there, Lindsay. Oh, fucking hell, this guy just absolutely poleaxed me right there. And then Lindsay Muddle, that's going to be it for you for the night. I'll tell you what, you'll be lucky to come back for race 2. Don't be hitting me there again.
Alrighty. Well, sorry, I just can't get over it. And also, yeah, Alex McEwen, that was an absolutely fantastic drive in this race. I mean, Cotter didn't let him get too far away though, so that really does make it interesting for race 2. I think that is going to be something to talk about. Harley Marshall also wasn't that far away, so we have a lot of close contenders here inside the top 3. Matt Munro, as I predicted, did make some places up as well, so I think there's a good couple of contenders here for the podium places and at the edge of that top 5 as well here in these Gen 3s. It's absolutely sensational stuff. And speaking of sensational stuff, that Camaro on the left-hand side looks like it could have 2 very quick drivers behind the wheel of it later this season.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. I'll tell you what. That Lindsay Muddle and Zach O'Reilly bringing you to the Bathurst 6 hour, coming your way, the Bilko Pack 6 hour Bathurst. That will be later on in the season. But great racing there from everyone in Sundry. The stream is kicking off. Everyone's having a chat. Liam Hanley is in the chat saying, good on your dad. Or he pretends he's not his relation there. He says, good on your DNA. Lethal is cheering. And that is the name that I gave Liam. So, Lethal, you can thank me for that. But nonetheless, thank yourselves for everyone in P1. Alex McEwen takes out the race 1 winner. Matt Cotto 2nd. Harley Marshall 3rd. Nick Mallow 4th. And Matt Munro 5th. Nielsen, Hughes, Kirk, Grant, Prius round out the top 10 with Hanley, Goff, Cook, Marshall, DeLuca, Elliott, Garrick, Ferguson by 2. Linus Stern, Ferguson in Jack, and Ferguson in Andrew. 18th and 19th with Alan Nielsen, your final place getter. Oh my God, I can't even speak. Giver for the race there. That is race 1. Done, won, and run. Race 2 is a 20-lapper, ladies and gentlemen. Mandatory pit and compound change coming your way here for the racing tonight. If you haven't already, please, in the fair dinkum department, give us a like, give us a subscribe to the channel as well. It goes a long way. We are on the trip to the 1,000 subscribers, ladies and gentlemen. If we do it, Lindsay Muddle might get involved, but I'll tell you what, Chris Munro and I are going to do a shoey live in the commentary box on the intro for the next time we get around into it.
I'm a bit young for that.
What was that?
I think I'm a bit young for that.
Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're only as old as you think you are. Lindsay Muddle is 18 at the moment, and he will be there. We'll do a shoey live on stream if we get to the 1,000. So tell your friends, family, grandmas, grandpas, dogs, cats, Panasonic fridges to get involved, because the 1,000 is not too far away. Only 13 to go, and we're there. But we love you, and at the moment, we will leave you only for a brief minute, because race 2, 20-lapper, is coming your way here at SimSational TV. Get your condiments refilled. Get everyone ready to rock and roll in the grand scheme of things. And SimSational TV will be just with you here for race 2 in just like... Oh, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, chill the F out if you haven't already in the grand scheme of things. This is an absolute belter for race 2. Holy mackerel. We have got a grid in front of us. Minute 21 left on the clock. McEwen, Cotter, Marshall round out your top 3. Mallow, Munro, Nielsen round out your top 6. And then you've got Hughes, Kirk, Grant, and Pearso rounding out your top 10 with Dean Hanley, Goff, Cook, Marshall, DeLuca, Elliott, Garrick, Jack Ferguson, Andrew Ferguson. And the last one on the grid in 20th place there is Alan Nielsen. Lindsay Muddle, give us your predictions for this one.
I think my predictions, Matt Cotter looked really, really strong in race 1. He didn't let McEwen get more than a second away. So it might not come to it at the final result, but I think in the first few laps we're going to see Matt Cotter trying to squeeze his way past Alex McEwen. I think we'll see a good battle on that front, as well as I think that Mr. Mello in P4 will try and put a bit more of an attack onto Harley Marshall this time around to try and get a podium.
Well, you've heard it there first, ladies and gentlemen. Give us your predictions in the chat. For the love of Pete, I'll tell you what, it should be ready to rock and roll. We're ready here on the circuit at the moment. Dean Hanley's going to start to find his ways forward. It says Kirsty. Well, I hope you're right there because with not even 10 seconds to go, the lights are up, ladies and gentlemen. Lap 1 of 20 coming your way. Mandatory pit and compound change coming your way here for SimSational TVs. And Alex McEwen is about to get going, and he's done so. He's got a little bit of a good start there, but looks like Matt Cotter has got a lot of wheel spin. So that's going to hound Harley Marshall into maybe a move. But Cotter's gone straight on the defensive mark at the moment. Down the outside goes Harley Marshall. Can he get Cotter under brakes here? They're all on the hard compound tyres because it's a mandatory hard compound to start here. And these boys are racing hammer and tong. It is so treacherous around the outside here for this one. These boys are racing hammer and tong. You can see on the inside there, we've already seen, I think that is one of the cars in the background of Scotty Garrett going off the field. It is too. But Cotter and Marshall having a good crack there. There goes Harley Marshall up the inside. Forces the issue there on Matt Cotter. Gives him some of his own medicine and says, bugger you, mate. I'm off into the bunda. But Matt Cotter's gone off the inside, giving him a love tap to think about as well. Is that positional advantage gain there? I'm not too sure. But Nick Mellow's going to have a look at this too and think about what he can do. Cotter, Marshall, and Mello all having a good crack here for P2, 3, and 4 here for the opening lap here. McEwen just skipped off to a distance at the moment. Already 8/10 up the road, nearly a second there. You can see Cotter versus Marshall rarely having a good crack at each other here too for the opening stanza here at the grand scheme of things. And I tell you what, it is absolutely on song here. Marshall right on the slide here, just uses all the power sliding he can get there. At the back there, it looks like Nielsen versus Munro is having a good crack here. Nielsen's going to get the hot chockies there over Matt Munro there for the P5 position there on the opening lap. These boys are having a good crack here. Down the front straightaway they go. Who's going to get the chockies? It looks like Matt Munro's tried to outbrake himself, but Nielsen's got the job done there and sausaged in way up into P5 at the moment over Matt Munro. What a cracking opening race here. 20 to go here, ladies and gentlemen. Well, 18 to go now. And it's all on for love and they're all money. Lindsay Muddle here for the first lap and a half here of the 20 lapper coming our way.
Yeah, and Munro's not done yet into the hairpin. He's going to go late on the brakes down the inside. Oh no, he's locked up, checked up on the apex and slammed into the side of Nielsen. This allows the captain to get involved now. The long way round, but it's not going to work at turn 8. It just does not work there as they head now up the hill into the third sector. Munro will be happy to be back past, but now he's going to be right under the same pressure he was a lap ago. My prediction went absolutely sideways for Cotter. Oh no, there's contact at the final corner. That sends Munro into a half slide there, but he manages to get it back in a straight line before they get on to the straight, and he's just absolutely flying along in a straight line once again, but he's going to be under a lot of pressure here. Nielsen trying it the long way round. Kirk putting himself in a position to try and capitalise if one of them makes a mistake. He's just waiting in the wings in the background, and he's not going to get any sort of advantage out of that car positioning just yet. Nielsen, will he try it down the inside of turn 5? No, he's now going to try it the long way round. He's just poking his nose anywhere that he possibly can to put Munro under pressure here, as Will Kirk is now trying the long way around, and Nielsen at the hairpin. They are side by side, but it's slot back in single file here. The captain knowing he can't get it done on that exit. He's going back behind, just looking at the back of the Mustang that sits in front of him. Nielsen is well within a Chevy sandwich at the moment. Oh no, Matt Munro's gone off. He's into the bunda. He's near the barrier, and he's going to be just bouncing across the grass, and he's going to rejoin at the final corner in P10 with Hanley right in front of him. That's a big loss there for Munro, and he has another snap to boot as well on the exit. This allows Hughes to try and get a move towards turn 1. It's Monster Energy versus Red Bull. We see it in real life all the time. Now we're seeing it in the simulator. Nathan Hughes is going to go down the inside of Matt Munro at turn 1. There's still wheel to wheel. There's wheel rubbing. It's a little bit wide there from Hughes, which forces Munro to dive a little bit out of the way. And on the exit, Nathan Hughes making the move stick, and absolutely cracking overtake. Munro will not be happy with himself that he's made a mistake like that. It's dropped him back, but he's got another 16 laps to undo the damage, but definitely not ideal in his position. Now up the front as well, the gap is close between Alex McEwen and Harley Marshall as well. So McEwen really not getting away at this point in the race, and Nick Mello as well got past Matt Cotter. That one I did predict correctly, and Nick Mello currently sitting in P3 for the moment, as I've definitely put the biggest commentator curse of my life on Matt Cotter, who currently sits in P4 when I said he's going to be pressuring Alex McEwen out there in the P1 position. So That's why you don't make predictions, ladies and gentlemen, as that's into the pit for Nick Mello.
Yeah, definitely. That's an early one for there, McNallo. He's going to come in real early there. That is only lap 5 out of the race, so to speak. So a cracking pit stop strategy here for Nick Mello. He's going to go down the grid at the moment, ladies and gentlemen, but don't worry about that. Who's that? That looks like the chef in a really slow position. Oh, look at the front wing on that car. That is absolutely shattered himself at the moment there for the chef, man. And he is in a world of trouble. That is Nick Mello out already. Basically in P18 at the moment, P19 now. But that is the worst possible position there for that front aero limitation there for the chef. He's got hammered there from the front row. And unfortunately, he is going to be way back down the grid come the pit stop time. But Nick Mello is the first one to blink. What is this man going to be doing in the grand scheme of things? Dino Hanley said lap 5 he would come in. Can he get the job done here? Is he going to get himself back into clean air? I think at the moment, if he comes into the pits, he's going to be right down there at the moment. Doc's already DNF'd. He's out of this one. He is done already. So a bit of a proceedings here. What is Dino going to do on the hard tyres? There's only 15 laps left in this one. Can the boys come in? You can see a couple already peeling into the pits. Dino's gone in and he's got punted there from Husey. Oh, and he's backwards into the pit lane. Oh, you cannot read about this one. It has blocked it. Oh, but everyone's come in front of him. He can't be out of that one so far. Disaster there for Dean Early. Scenes you would not absolutely predict anywhere in the sim racing department. And Dino's gone from P7 all the way down now to poor old P18. And Ryan Nielsen's going to come back out. That's the first ones into the pits to dive in. Disaster there for Dean Hanley. Nathan Hughes had punted him into the pit lane. Oh, Lindsay Buttle, I'm about to cough. Take over.
I've never seen anything like it. It just looks like Hanley slowed up too much into the entry. I know that in the briefing said don't really break until you across the white line, and Hanley did exactly the opposite. He broke while they were still on the racing surface, and he definitely paid the price for it. I'm watching a live action replay here of it off to the left, and that did not look fun for Dean Hanley, but that's what happens when you don't listen to the man, the myth, the legend who's alongside me, Zach O'Reilly, from the briefing. But yeah, I've never seen anything like that before in my sim racing career. I think, as it looks like we've got a safety car.
We do have a safety car, ladies and gentlemen. Where the hell do you look on the straightaway, on the corners? Anyway, disaster for Dino Hanley there. Oh, geez, you should have just seen the amount of people coming into the pits for that dive in after lap 5. And they've all come in off the hard compound straight onto the softs to get the quickest tyre back on as soon as possible. And disaster there for Dean Hanley, as you saw, in the worst possible time for the safety car to come out for him all the way back down there in 18th place there. I've never seen anyone get pit manoeuvred onto the pit entry, but the boys did not listen. Nathan Hughes, you've been caught in 4K for that one. And maybe a bit of Dean Hanley braking before he got to the briefing marker. As you can see actually there, the Marshall Brothers Racing and Lachlan Grant coming into the pits. Also, there in the background there, that looks like one of the Rangout Simblacks guys coming into the pits as well. Who's going to get there first? No, that is disaster there. I think that was one of the boys. I cannot see who it is on the grand scale of things. Was that the chef, man? I think it was the chef. No, it wasn't the chef. It was one of them. Coming into the pits and lost positions there. Was that the Doc? Yes, the Doc's come back in and decided to come back out onto the racetrack and pit, but he missed his pit box at the last point or not. But the safety car is the man leading this grid for now, and it is, oh geez, you couldn't believe it, Lindsay Muddle. That man in front, Captain Kirk, on the hard compound tyres already, just trying to put his place in, and if he could get into the worst position on the racetrack, it is right now. Hard tyres for him. Is he going to go around for another couple of laps here, because you have to change compound here? Is he going to go the long game and just maybe take that position away, or is he going to have to peel in at the moment? Because I would say, Lindsay, as a racing expert yourself there in the as a safety car just goes off the track, just doing what Ford Raptors do, will this man come into the pits and also far off? Because at the moment, if the safety car goes around one more lap, it is the least damage coming your way in the grand scheme of things. But I think we have seen the safety car just start to race off into the distance. So this could be worst case scenario here for the captain and Fargoff.
Yeah, this is really not good for those two. They're going to get absolutely swamped, and then they still have to pit as well. They are going to get absolutely eaten alive and find themselves off the back of the grid. So really not ideal here for the captain and Goff as well. So this is going to be really interesting stuff here on the restart towards lap number 8. When will Kirk decide to take us away once again for the racing action? When does he put his pedal to the metal? And he's just waiting, he's waiting, he's waiting. He's making all the boys wait. They don't know when he's going to go. And he's still slowing up. Surely he's got to go anytime now, and he has started to pick up the pace here just before the line. He's done the absolutely latest restart he possibly can. Alex McEwen is already on the inside of Goff here towards turn 1. He makes the lunge, but he was always going to get that one done as well. Matt Cotter in the background making a move on Harley Marshall here. So those two swapping around once again, much like they did on lap 1, but this time it's Cotter getting past Marshall instead of Marshall getting past Cotter here. And McEwen already on the charge to try and catch back up and overtake to Will Kirk here. The race restart probably going a little bit better for Will Kirk than maybe he expected here, as it's all kicking off here in the background. A couple of drivers dropping all the way down the back, and it's Hughes, Virgo. There's a massive pile up. I thought I saw only 2, but there's a big bunch up here. It looks like Hughes, both of the Virgos also, and Scotty Garrick have all been hooked up in that one, and they are off the back. Will that be another safety car here in this race?
No, I don't think so. I think they're all having a good crack around there. Oh, hang on. No, it looks like we're going around at full speed at the moment. Alex McEwen, very much so. No, it is a safety car. It is points out again. Oh, you're kidding me. No, it's not. They're all racing hammer and tong unless the safety car comes out again. You can see it peeling off into the distance. Yes, it is. Lindsay Muddle caught it perfectly there. And another safety car, one within 1.5 laps there. Now we've got 2 safety cars. As Christopher Munro says in the commentary department, breed safety cars. That is for sure. And unfortunately for the 2 Fergos, Scotty Garrick and Nathan Hughes, they dead set had a man. Now they have basically changed compounds here, Lindsay Muddle. So they can feel free to change them again. And if they want to. So they will come back out for another 1 lap newer, or thereabouts, fresh set of soft tyres as they come in. As you can see them all peeling in now. We've got, that is Nathan Hughes, got out in front of Scotty Garrick there as well. So Nathan Hughes back out on the front of the back of the pack, so to speak, for this one. And he has gone out on softs. The whole field, apart from Tony DeLuca, is out on the soft compound. Whether he started on the soft and then got into the hard compounds, I will never know, because I did not take as much notice as I should have been in the fair dinkum department. But the safety car leads the race at this stage. Is he going to peel off again? Because Matt Cotter and Alex McEwen are literally neck and neck at the moment. Let's have a look at the onboard here from Cotter. Though that safety car is still there. The lights are still on. So we're going to go around for one more time here, unless it just absolutely doozles me in the grand scheme of things. But nope, looks like that safety car is going to go around one more time in the Daft Punk style department and go us for another one here. So this will be lap 10 out of 20. Half race distance, so to speak, behind the safety car we go. And every single person bar Tony DeLuca is on a set of soft compound tyres, as we see a lap traffic marker of Andre Elliott just go past at a rate of knots there. He is able to unlap himself, so he's going to go around one more time and see if he can catch himself back onto the back of the grid before this safety car period ends for the rest of them. But, geez, this is anyone's race now. You predicted Matt Cotter to be up there, Lindsay. What are your thoughts right now?
Yeah, well, initially I thought I cursed him, but at the moment he's doing all right. Fingers crossed. That stays that way, and I haven't just bring him up again right into the worst curse. But I was actually about to ask you about Andre Elliott, actually, and then the question got answered right in front of me. So, yeah, Elliott, who decided to call it quits earlier on, he had a big fat red DNF next to his name, and then now he's back unlapping himself. So that's really quite fortunate for Andre Elliott that he's able to find his way back into this one. But now we have less than the sprint race to go here, and this is going to be enthralling stuff. I think that Cotter, I'm going to make the prediction again. I said it on lap 1 that he was going to try and attack McEwen, and then he got attacked by Marshall because he got a bad start. Now I'm going to hopefully not curse him again and say that Cotter will be attacking McEwen here for the race lead for the rest of the 9 laps or so that we'll have remaining after the safety car restart. I'd imagine the safety car would have to peel off this time now. Oh, he's not getting too far away. I think it might depend a little bit on Andre Elliott here, who's making his way through the start of the lap.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he's gone. Okay.
He's gone.
So the Ford Raptor has pulled off into the distance. So McEwen in a position that I'm sure he's well too comfortable with for his own good here. Out in P1, nothing in front of him, only cars in his mirrors. And we get ready to go racing once again. We had a safety car restart 2 laps ago. Now we're going to have another one. And Cotter is going to get caught napping here. McEwen's so good at these safety car restarts. Nick Mello already on the hunt to Harley Marshall towards turn 1. They're going to go side by side for the 3rd position. This is for the podium place here. Mello is on the inside, late on the brakes. Gets past Marshall, but he locks up and he manages just about to keep it on the road. That's fantastic car control as Pearso now is going to try and say, thank you very much. I'm going to try the long way round, but it just doesn't work that way through the single file complex. But he's now right on the back, but that's a huge mistake from Nick Mello. Not particularly ideal, but he's still on the back of the train here. Cotter not able to get a good run on McEwen just yet, as that is Munro trying the long way round at the hairpin now. He's trying to get it done on Nielsen, but he's not able to at the hairpin this lap. As in the background as well, it looks like DeLuca is going side by side with Nielsen round the outside of turn number, I think it was 8, as they head now up through the final complex of corners here at Hidden Valley. And that is a very bent rear wing on the back of that Ford Mustang behind him.
Yeah, definitely. Nielsen's got some damage, and the rear wing as well. Holy mackerel, and the front. You name it. He's got more hits than Elvis at the moment. There's Nielsen. But looks like we're pulling up again here for another lap. This is incredible stuff for the rest of the field. What is the safety car doing? He's out again, in fact. So, safety cars breed safety cars breed safety cars again. Poor old Dino Hanley's way off in the bunda. That is why we've got one. He cannot get onto the racing line. What is looking like on the grand scheme of things for him? Can't see anything there. It looks like he's got some steering damage, but I think he's blown his engine. Has Dino, as well as Jack Ferguson. Jack Ferguson's DNF. So there goes the 2 guys on the grand scheme of things. We'll get out of that and into the cockpit of the race director's car there. And you can see there for the safety car as well, it's out once again. Only 1 lap completed there, and we get another one. So this is safety car number 3 for race 2. Already outdone the amount of numbers of races versus safety car battle. And here we are once again, trialing around. Unfortunately for Dino Hanley and Jack Ferguson, they have come to a fruition there and taken themselves both out of the race in one shape or another. But we're back line astern here again. And I'll tell you what, if DeLuca there on the hard compound tyre, as you can see there in number 8 position, he is probably, I reckon, if he has pitted, he is in the race of his life at the moment because he has got everyone on the soft compound tyres behind him. But nonetheless, the safety car does peel in. Once again, we're going to go racing. Take 3, so to speak here, ladies and gentlemen, for the evening. Safety cars led more laps than anyone else. Well, not so much there, Mr. Matt Hagedorn of Sly Fox Designs, because Alex McEwen has led. But now, we're going to see what Matt Cotter can do. Is he going to get up the grid? No, he's been caught napping again, and we're off and racing because there goes Alex McEwen. Job done so far from him. He has got well and truly further up the grid than he needs to be over Matt Cotter there. And you can see there Tony DeLuca having to come into the pits. Unfortunately for him, he's sliding down the grid at the moment. But it's all happening. Matt Munro and Pearso have come in together. And that is disaster there. You saw the Red Bull car just absolutely yeeting himself into the in-ground. And that, unfortunately, has come out way worse for Matt Munro than poor old Brandon Pierce. Pearso in 15th place. They're getting taken out by an error. Matt Munro just has to get his brain sorted there, Matthew. Jeez Louise, Chris Munro will be absolutely shouting if he was watching this at the moment, going, what the hell are you doing, young brother there? But another disaster there. Unfortunately, Pearso's come out worse for wear, but it's all happening here in the mid-pack. We've got Jesse Marshall in 10th place as well. He has got Captain Kirk in front of him, who is following the chef man in 8th place as well. So we're only 3 or 4 tenths of drift between the rest of them. And even up the front there, you can see there, Lachlan Grant is trying to hound the rear end of Alan Nielsen, whose car is looking worse for wear at the moment. So is Lachlan Grant's too. His front splitter's on an angle as well. So a bit of downforce lost for these 2 cars in 5th and 6th respectively. Now we've got a bit of a battle here as well because the chef is getting hounded at the moment by the captain. The captain's right up his clacker as well. The chef's got some front wing damage there too. Also on the piss as well as the captain gets absolutely side by side, gets the job done. Up into T1 he goes, and positional change there done. If he can pull it up, he does, just at the point of not there. At the vinegar stroke, just gets it pulled up on the outside there. And now we've got a battle on here because Jesse Marshall is ready to rock and roll. You can see from the cockpit cam here of Jesse, he can see the chef right off in the distance there as well. Shifts it down into second gear from fifth all the way down to second. Okay, who's got the better exit there? The chef in front of him on the number plate, looking very nice. So there is the captain as well. Oh no, Jesse just touches him, and around there goes the chef. Oh, Jesse Marshall caught in 4K on board as well, trying to push him around there, but they're going to both lose a whole hell of a lot of positions. Disaster there from absolutely everyone in sundry. That is absolutely piss poor there from Jesse Marshall. I'll tell you what, this man has come from nowhere. Andrew Ferguson already up into 7th place there. He's right in the thick of this now. 7th place for him. His front wing is a little bit different on the angle of department there. So is everyone in front of him in Nielsen and Grant too. So it's a battle of the downforce lacking department here for 5th, 6th and 7th place. Who's going to get the jockeys done there? Lindsay Battle, this is a cracker.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you heard me say in the background as well, on the safety car restart, I thought we were about to have another safety car, and these boys are really trying. I think they want more laps under safety car than racing action here at the rate that they're going. But this is absolutely cracking stuff at the moment, as well as Cotter is only 3/10 behind. At the moment, it's only 2/10 behind Alex McEwen. So this is really close stuff up the front as we cut to them. It's a big lockup from Matt Cotter. Marshall now slots up the inside. That was a massive mistake from Cotter, and that's not what you want to do when you're trying to hound the back of the fastest guy on the racetrack. And that is a big loss there, as that now puts a Marshall out the front of Cotter. That allows McEwen to try and slip away a little bit, and you can't give him an inch of space, can you? With Alex McEwen, he'll take it and he'll run away 49 seconds if you're not careful. No, 49 seconds is more Zach O'Reilly's thing, as we saw in the classics. He absolutely booked it. But Cotter now will be hounding the back of Harley Marshall towards turn 1, but he's not close enough for a move. Nielsen also sitting in a reasonable position in 4th at the moment, as Lachlan Grant gets past the other Nielsen on the grid at turn 1, moving up into the top 5. So not a bad race so far from Lachlan Grant. He just has to keep his nose clean, but it looks like he hasn't, because that's a very bent front splitter on his Chevy Camaro. But that's just the way it's been tonight, as Scotty Garrick losing out a place to Goff and Pearso at the moment. Drops to 13th position. As it looks like there's a little bit of a squabble there, as they are side by side, Goff and Garrick, as well as Matt Monroe in the background, thinking of getting a nose in, as Goff just sitting in the inside line, gets the run off the corner, but it's not over just yet. It looks like Garrick's up the inside, Monroe's up the inside. It was just not going to work the long way around there for Goff at turn number 8. I keep losing my corner numbers, Zach O'Reilly. This track is very, very confusing for a person that's not watched it before. But Matt Monroe making up places, and now next up on his list to get past is going to be Scotty Garrick. But back up the closer to the sharp end here. Oh, as Cotter's down the inside of Marshall. I can see it on the leaderboard. He's got back past the white Red Bull liveried Chevy Camaro, but now it looks like Marshall's trying to put the pressure on down the inside, as Cotter was as right as he possibly could be while still leaving a car's width. And Harley Marshall said, if you're going to leave me a car's width, I'm going to try and take it, as there's contact at the hairpin as well. This is allowing McEwen to get away. Nielsen got caught up in that as well. A little bit of contact from the Ford Mustang in the background of the hairpin, where we've seen all sorts of shenanigans going on in this 20-lap race. There's 3 to go. We won't make the mistake of not looking at the lap counter this time around, because this is absolutely nose to tail, and this is fantastic stuff here for what is the top 3 positions. But McEwen has been given an inch, and he's trying to take a mile here away from the cars behind him. He's nearly got a second to Cotter, but here comes Nielsen on Marshall towards turn 1. Harley Marshall defending the inside. Nielsen trying it the long way round at turn 1. We've seen that it's tricky to pull off, and once again it proves true, but there's contact. Marshall having a snap there from the contact. Nielsen just trying to pull a little bit of a bump and run Red Bull in real life style, but he's not able to pull it off that time around here with 2 laps to go. This is absolutely sensational stuff, Zach O'Reilly.
Oh, definitely, Lindsay Muddle. Fantastic calling by yourself there. And all these guys have got some damage of some sort on their car, so it was all even Steven, so to speak. and Nielsen right trying to get past Harley Marshall there for the P3 at the moment. Matt Cotter is on a little bit of a charge here. 18 laps out of 20 done, and we've seen about 4 laps under safety car already. So this one's a little bit short-lived for the rest of them, but Cotter on the charge here. 8 tenths now, 7 tenths are about there between himself and McEwen. These two are so even on pace, and they've got it all to think about here with 2 more to go after this one. It's a reverse top 15, ladies and gentlemen, for the next race. So these guys are going to get flipped on their head and going to have to come back through the pack at the moment. The chef in 15th is going to start on pole at this stage, but it's all for points here at the moment. You can see McEwen just really, really locking up those tyres, sending smoke signals to Matt Cotter in the background there. 2 tenths out of that lap in Sundry. At this rate, it's going to be 3 or 4 tenths splitting them if they can keep it in the feed Ingham pace department by the end of this one. But Cotter is on the charge, and geez, he's doing it so well tonight here. He's really, really got the pace on over Alex McEwen at the moment in that Mustang in front of him. 5 tenths of a second now. You can see them ever so closing that gap. It's a lap left and a bit to go here for the Chockies. Who can get out in front? Is Nielsen going to be able to get past Andrew Ferguson? Look at them all. They've all got the same damage. You can see there Fergo and Nielsen have both got front splitter and rear splitter damage. Wings at left-hand angles, right-hand down, if you don't mind me saying. And they're both looking racy at the moment. 2 blue cars, Pertec versus the Ford Galloping pony there as well for Fergo. These guys are on like Donkey Kong at the moment. 3 tenths of a second is all that splits these two guys, P1 and 2, for the Chockies here for the final lap of the race. So white flag is out at the moment. Oh, McEwen on the slide there as well. So is Matt Cotter too. He's overcooked it into the T1. They've both done the same thing, which is going to neutralise that gap. Still 5 tenths of a second between the two of them. Cotter on the slide on the exit there just gets it pulled up. I think McEwen's going to hang on to this one by an absolute bee's whisker over the rest of them. Nathan Hughes has gone off in the background there, however, lost P9 all the way down. Now into P11. He's probably going to get P12 done from him as well too by Scotty Garrick. So disaster there. 3 positions lost on the last lap here of the race here tonight. But it is still a hammer and tong here. Can Matt Cotter get further up the grid? I don't think he's going to get there unless McEwen has an absolute mare coming into the final 3 corners. We are now at turn 11 here. Turn 11, then 12, then 13 is coming our way, and there is 14. Matt Cotter's going to hang on, but only by 2 tenths of a second over Alex McEwen for P1 there, and McEwen is going to cross the line here, take the Chockies just by the bee's whisker at the moment over Matt Cotter, singing to the high heavens here as well for him. 1, 2, done and dusted all over there by 3 tenths. Harley Marshall in 3rd place, cracking drive. Ryan Nielsen will be stoked with that one into P4. Grant for 5th, Kirk for 6th place. None of these guys split by more than a second until you get down here until 7th place, with Andrew Ferguson holding off Nielsen there for 8th. Nick Mallow, unfortunately for him, look at that car. That is absolutely sideways in the wing department here for him in 9th place there. Brandon Pierce takes out 10th place, getting a little bit of a promotion there from Nathan Hughes going off. Scotty Garrick in 11th place. And speaking of that man, 12th place for Nathan Hughes. He'll be happy. He'll be off 3rd in the next one. Farg off 14th. Jesse Marshall in 15th off the front row next to this man for the reverse top 15. Hayden Cook, whose car is also looking worse for wear. The mechanics will get to that in the proceedings between race 2 and 3. And then you got Matt Munro, very, very disappointed with that effort from himself in the VR headset. He'll be absolutely killing himself there in the last 16th place there. DeLuca in 17th, held on after pitting under safety car there for some soft compound tyres, as he said. And Andre Elliott, Jack Ferguson, rounding out your 19th place. Dean Hanley, unfortunately, DNFing out of that one from that first safety car pit interval there from him. He will be back for the next one, Lindsay Muddle. What a race there, only split by 4 tenths of a second.
Yeah, that was absolutely cracking stuff, and I know motorsport is full of what ifs, but what if Matt Cotter didn't lock up at turn 1 when Alex McEwen did? It was a rare mistake from McEwen, and Cotter's just probably tried to follow him through turn 1 to try and maximize, and just ended up overshooting instead, following McEwen right off. But that was a cracking effort there from Matt Cotter to try and topple Goliath there in P1, but McEwen takes it home. That was an absolutely cracking race, and now we're going to see McEwen and Cotter trying to fight their way through, as well as Harley Marshall and the rest of them as well from 15th and up. This is going to be an absolutely sensational race 3, but what a race 2 it was. But I think that the boys might need a little talking to in the meantime. Their mechanics will not be happy with the amount of damage that they're going to have to fix.
Oh, no. There's going to be probably about, I reckon, collectively, maybe $500,000 worth of damage there in bumper clips, bumpers, rear wings, you name it. It's all going to happen there for these guys in between race 2 and 3. But nonetheless, that's what's coming up next. It is a 34-lapper coming our way. Reverse top 15 event. And again, they're going to have to come in and start with some whatever compound they want for this one, for the next one. Sorry, this one they had to start on the hards and get back into a compound change for that one. But they can start on whatever they want for the 34-lapper here at Hidden Valley. Tonight has been absolutely sensational in terms of events here. The Gen 3s are on song. Big thank you to Fabian Fitness for the $3, if I haven't said it already, as well for the donation. It's absolute rip-snorting stuff here for this whole grid tonight. I'm excited. Lindsay Muddle is excited. I can hear in his voice. And we are excited for the final race of tonight. Race 3, 34-lapper, reverse top 15 coming our way, which means the man, the myth, the legend, the chef, is going to line up from pole position with Jesse Marshall right next to him. How long are they going to last in the strategical department? We will find out when the fat lady sings and that checkered flag is waved here at SimSational TV and AK Racing's SimSational broadcast here tonight. Lindsay Muddle and Zach O'Reilly in the commentary box, but we'll be back here for race 3 in just a hot second. But nonetheless, doesn't matter because the racing is ready to rock and roll. We've got 20 cars on the grid for tonight, and this man is your guy. The chef man, Gordon Ramsay's best friend, Lindsay Muddle, is off the front of the whole circus and act tonight. And if we see anything like we saw in race 2, safety cars breeding safety cars, this could mean an absolute rip snorter of a third race, and the final one, 34 lappers, coming our way.
Yeah, this is going to be an absolutely cracking race. And one thing, I've always been a fan of reverse grid races. Just in my experience of reverse grid races, in another thing that we did broadcast, Fargo and Racing, they used to have a triple race format as well with reverse grids, and that was just always pandemonium, and it was always good fun. And I absolutely love the idea of like a top 15, top 10 reverse grid, and I think this is just going to be really, really fun to watch. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. We haven't got Nathan Hughes or Nick Mallow on the grid at this moment. They've only got 1 minute and 5 left to go before they get onto the grid, but that's your race order there at the moment. Bar me, there goes Nick Mallow. He's back in. Hughes, you better get his wriggle on. Cook, Marshall, front row. Happy days for them. Clint Goff, Nathan Hughes off the second row if he can get in. Garrick, Prius off the third, Nick Mallow and Alan Nielsen off the fourth with Ferguson, and Kirk off the fifth with Grant and Nielsen. In Ryan waiting in the sixth row as well with Harley Marshall, Matt Cotter and Alex McEwen rounding out the reverse top 15 that we saw. Matt Munro, Tony DeLuca, Andre Elliott, Jack Ferguson with poor old Dino Hanley. Right, dead set last. He's going to have to come through the grid at a rate of knots here, and that's going to be interesting to see for the rest of this event tonight. But I'll tell you what, it is all cracking, ready to go. Thank you for being with us here so far tonight at SimSational TV. It's been great to have you all along here. 40-odd concurrent viewers. Wowee. We better get to that 1,000 soon, as Munro and I are going to be doing a shoey. But the race is up. The lights are up, ready to go. We've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and ready to rock and roll racing. Here we go. And the lights are out and we are off and racing. We had 2 cars not get to the race before we started, so unfortunate for them. But it is the chef man off the front row. He's got a great start there over Jesse Marshall. Fargoff is right there up his clacker as well, which we can see coming into turn 1. We've got 18 cars on the circuit. 2 did not get in there, but poor old Glinkoff is right on the arse end there. And that looks like Scotty Garrick on the inside. Nielsen on the outside there too. 3 wide into turn 1. And Fergo's getting involved in this one too. Andrew, in fact, as well. So we can see here from Nielsen's perspective, what can he see in the grand scheme of things? Just pandemonium. Cars going around him. Cars on the inside as well. And there goes Captain Kirk up the inside too. Can he get that job done? He can, just at the corner, not there. Oh, geez, that was great stuff. But Marshall has got through. Bit of carnage in the background there. Munro's involved in that one too. Now we're going to see 3 wide here. Captain Kirk versus Nielsen again. And Ryan really, really up there as well. Seeing these guys absolutely battle hammer and tong here for the lap 1 into turn 9. We go now.
cracking around this circuit here, and you can see there Kirk's just had a mare, so Nielsen's going to skip around the outside, going to take that position, but Kirk won't be too happy about that one. Now we've got Riley Marshall right behind those two, looking at these two going too wide, bumping and door banging as well, even wheel banging as well there for Kirk. He got the job done. Nielsen's going to go for the switch back up the inside, but not if Marshall Brothers Racing of Harley comes up the inside. Matt Munro's involved in that too, and we've got a five-way car battle here, trying to get themselves inside that top 10 at the moment, and this is cracking racing here from everyone in Sundry. Where the hell is Alex McEwen? He's there at the background. Marshall and Pearson Cook are all having a good crack at the front here as well. Lindsay Muddle don't know where to look.
Yeah, it's absolutely all kicking off here as Ferguson's going to get down the inside of Cook on the exit. They're going to be drag racing towards the braking zone. It's Mustang versus Camaro as they head towards the braking, and Cook just backs out of it. Fergo getting through up into P4 is in the background. It looks like Harley Marshall's got a move on there down the inside, and that is a great move. Matt Munro moving up into P9 as well. Marshall now has the captain in front of them as they're just going to continue to charge through the field, as it looks like Munro is side by side with Marshall through the right-hander. No, it was side by side with Nielsen through the right-hander, and Munro just chipping away at the rest of the grid. Nielsen under a bit of pressure from Alex McEwen, the guy who started in P15 after he won last race, is on an absolute charge here, but Marshall is just absolutely getting away with it. Marshall's just flying along, and will 34 laps be enough time for these drivers to get through to the sharp end? I'd happen to believe they can, considering the rate they're charging through the field at the moment. Kirk looking at a move on Goff potentially, who's wide, but Matt Cotter currently, Harley Marshall, sorry, I don't know why I thought it was Cotter. Marshall just absolutely pushing Kirk through the corner, and he's just really got to get a move on here. That's a big lock-up from Goff towards the hairpin. Will Marshall think about putting a nose in at the hairpin? He does. Munro also is just going to tap Marshall halfway around. We've seen a lot of that out of Matt Munro tonight. He loves the good old bump and run attempt, but it's not been working for him so far tonight. His front splitter will not be liking that one. His mechanics will be like, we just fixed it, mate. Come on, keep it clean, but he's already failed in that task, as Alex McEwen not really moving through the field as quickly as I think a lot of people probably expected here.
Oh!
He's just playing patient. Oh no! That's a big off from Nielsen and Grant. It looks like Grant just got absolutely punted by Nielsen. I don't think that's how you follow a car.
No, that's not how you follow a car, and unfortunately there for Grant and Nielsen, they've ended up way down the back. Also, Fargoff's had a challenge up at the inside of him from the captain too, so the Kirks man's got past him, and now he's going to be under pressure here from Harley Marshall too. So these boys all having a good crack. You can see Harley Marshall, the car language behind him is absolutely wriggling its way around. Is he going to go for the dive up the inside? Does Harley Marshall? He does. He gets around Fargoff. Matt Munro's going to have a crack at this too, as well as they come into the turn 5 hairpin. What are these boys going to do? Matt Munro's going to sing it down the inside, but now he's got very close company there from Ryan Nielsen too. Matt Munro's got the job done though, very cleanly, and well done there. You can see Alex McEwen hanging out in the background there, just watching all this carnage come through him as well. A cool, calm and collected customer is Alex McEwen, but he's got very much so a battle on his hands, because that is Nielsen versus McEwen having a good crack. Ryan Nielsen's barged through on the race 2 winner and just said, thank you, Father, for the rabbits. Here comes Matt Cotter as well, who was way back down there. He was in 15th. He's Matt Cotter. Now he's found himself up in 11th place also after that tangle between Nielsen and Grant. And now they're both going side by side in Ryan Nielsen. Allen was the one who got caught with that Grant too. But now Nielsen versus Fargoff versus Cotter versus McEwen. They're all having a good crack here. We can see them 3 wide nearly into turn 1. Oh, Matt Cotter's bumped and run, and his concertina affected all of them. Fargoff and Nielsen involved in that one too. That was disaster there. That was all caused by Matt Cotter trying to nose his way up the inside. He muscles on as Matt Cotter should redress that position, but he does not. He just gallops on. He's got past Alex McEwen there as well in Sundry too. So a big mover and shaker at the moment, all bar it by a little bit of controversial circumstances. Is Matt Cotter got himself in front of Alex McEwen there too. These two are fighting over P1 and 2 in the championship battle at this stage. And I'll tell you what, it's all over. Bar the shouting for Matt Cotter at the moment. He's really up there now, and so is Captain Kirk here, right on the back of the chef. The chef started off P1, and now he's found himself into P5. Brandon Pierce has gone through into third place. He was in second, and in third place, Jesse Marshall's got past him as well. Scotty Garrick's right on his gearbox too as well. So we've got a four-way battle here, all from split from 5th down to 9th at the moment. Here you can see Andrew Ferguson setting the fastest lap of the race. That doesn't matter because here goes Captain Kirk on the inside of the chef. He's going to get the job done. So does Matt Munro on Harley Marshall too. This is a two-way 4x4 battle nearly into turn 1. They all go. Cracking racing for the both of them. It looks like the chef has got the job done. Matt Munro's just done a double overtake nearly there as well into T1. Got that perfectly done there and said thank you very much, brother, for the rabbits on the chef. Got that job done. So did the captain as well. Now the chef is all under pressure here from Harley Marshall, who's gone sailing on the inside, taking that position. Beautifully done there by the chef, by the Marshall Brothers Racing, of Harley. Really, really good stuff. Matt Munro now can see and taste that blood in front of him like a shark in the ocean at the moment of Captain Kirk. Can he get through into 5th place at the moment? Andrew Ferguson is leading this race by a country mile, 2.2 seconds out in front here on the softs, however. So a bit of alternating strategy from these boys. You can see about 4 or 5 soft runners there on the circuit versus the hard guys. So we've got to keep an eye out on that one, Lindsay Muddle, come the race ending fruition at about lap 24, I reckon.
Yeah, this is... Oh, no, Matt Munro! He's just hit the wall on the exit of the final corner. I didn't even know that was possible, to be quite frank, but he's managed to do it. And that car is not going to be very happy. But in the background, Alex McEwen is going down the inside of Cook at turn 1. He moves up into 9th place. He's being a lot more tame than the other cars. He knows he has the pace. He's like Jackson storming Cars 3, just coming out of absolutely nowhere. That's what he's trying to do at the moment. He's just keeping his nose clean and just sweeping his way through the field here. I reckon he knows that he doesn't have to rush, as Scotty Garrick is down the inside of Marshall at the hairpin, and it looks like he'd gotten it done, but it's a nose-in attempt there from Marshall, but he backs out of it here. We're already 7 laps through. This is absolutely uncanny how fast time flies when all the racing action is going on. And Fergo currently sitting 3 seconds out in the lead, so he's trying to get a gap before the really, really quick customers get to him, of the likes of Munro, Cotter, McEwen, Marshall, the lot of them who started at the back because of the reverse grid. He's just making sure he has a little bit of a safety net, but he's not going too slow himself, and that's a 107.4 from him last lap, so that is not slow by any stretch of the imagination. Pearso currently sitting in P2, has 1.8 seconds to Scotty Garrick. Garrick has a big haggle of cars behind him. There you have Marshall, Kirk, the other Marshall, Munro, Cotter, Nielsen, McEwen, and Cook's just falling off the back of that. So if I'm Scotty Garrick and I'm looking in the mirrors, I think that a bit of... Oh no!
That is disaster!
Munro's been tapped around.
Marshall got tapped around
by Munro. There we go. I got the words out, but that is not ideal for Harley Marshall, and Harley will be absolutely fuming as Munro's car is absolutely done. That is not a good-looking Chevy Camaro here on lap number 8, but he's going to continue charging along. But yeah, the front end of that Camaro has seen quite a lot at this point in time. So yeah, he'll just be trundling along behind Marshall, as meanwhile it looks like McEwen's looking for a move further up the road potentially. Yes, he is. He's trying the long way round here on Nielsen. He's inching ahead towards the braking zone, but Nielsen brakes late. McEwen trying the long way round here. It's Mustang on Mustang as they head out of turn 1, and it looks like McEwen's just still staying patient. He's just seen what carnage can cause, and he's moved up 2 places for free because of it. It did create a little bit of a bigger segregation in the field though, because Cotter to Kirk is now 2.3 seconds when it was all together from Scotty Garrick. So Matt Munro causing a bit of a concertina effect with how this race trajectory is going as well. It's completely changed, but there's still 25 laps to go, so there's a long lot of racing left to be seen, and yeah, this has just been an absolutely monumental start to this race.
Oh, it's been incredible. You've seen trials and tribulations of the motorsport. Punted in 4K was Harley Marshall on Matt Munro. We just caught him. And Matt Munro just doing standard jobs there in the background, says Ron Marshall in the chat. But look at this, Captain Kirk not doing anything by standards. Trying to go the long way around the outside here. Can he get the job done into turn one? These two are going hammer and tong. And Garrick, they've door bumped each other. And that's just muscled his way through as Scotty Garrick over the captain. The captain won't be too happy about that. He'll be trying to fire all lasers at him in Starship Enterprise and give himself some sort of battle up the road. And you can see here, they both just got a little bit of damage, but nothing to complain about. That's a sure thing. But Matt Cott will be looking at this going, happy days, boys, because you keep battling, I'll be drawn into this one at a absolute rate of knots, I can guarantee you. But it is still on. Captain Kirk versus Jesse Marshall, MBR Racing versus the captain in the Rang Up Sim Blacks number 2 for this guy. He's literally racing the tits off this car as well, but nonetheless, it is on like Donkey Kong here for 5th and 4th place, and it's still on because Nielsen is right at the arse end of Cotter. Cotter made a mistake there. Nielsen saw that coming. Is he going to muscle his way down the inside? He is. He's going to go for the move here on the final turn of the racetrack. Wowee! Ron Nielsen just slaps it into 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th gear now. Drag race down the front straight away. Mustang versus Camaro. Here we go. This is all on song for at the moment. Red or gold versus blue, so to speak. Nielsen's got the worst run. He's going to try to reverse suck and go for the switchback underneath into turn 1. He goes. Can Matt Cotter out break him? He does, but he's on the slide. Is Cotter. Nielsen's got the better run here. Oh, they touched each other and they touched again. That's 2 times, 3 times in the corner. Having a good muscle out here is Nielsen versus Cotter. Some sort of rate of attrition here. Nielsen's going to come out in front, but Cotter's got the inside advantage, and Cotter has just made that move stick. Absolutely sensational. And here comes Alex McEwen behind them, watching these two battle it out. The smooth, calm, cool, and collected customer of Alex McEwen will be right up there in a heartbeat if these boys keep battling on here for the substantial placings here. But Nielsen is on the soft compound as well, if you don't mind. So he's got some lateral grip advantage over these guys at this stage, but you can see McEwen hounding him down on the hard tyre behind him. Won't be too encouraging for Nielsen, knowing that he's going to get done here by a rate of knots. And speaking of which, Fergo's going to get done by a rate of knots because he's only 5 seconds. It may look like a great lead, ladies and gentlemen, but 5 seconds out in front is not enough. By the time we round into 11 laps here now done in this one, for Fergo to be a pit stop clear to keep that lead at this stage on that soft compound tyre. I reckon 1 or 2 more laps before those soft compounds start to die in the arse, and we'll see Fergo come into the pits. But cracking racing here between Nielsen and Alex McEwen and Matt Cotter too, by the way. But the captain is trying all he can do to get past Jesse Marshall. These two have not let each other go for the last 2.5 laps here, and they're singing to the high heavens at the moment for one person to make a mistake to get it all done and dusted. Dino Hanley's also on the charge here too. Comes race number 3, and Dino inside the top 10 here, doing a really, really good job trying to get himself back up onto his counterpart, one of the Rang-Out customers of the chef. Can he get the job done here from P10 into P9, Lindsay Muddle? It's all over bar the shouting at this stage.
Yeah, well, it looks like he's on an absolute charge at the moment. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him get past Cook towards turn 1. So we'll see here as he heads through the final sector of the racetrack into turn 14. He's just got to get a good exit, and he could be pressuring Cook in front of him here, as that's a car peeling off into the pit lane. It is Nielsen on those soft tyres, but Hanley in the slipstream now is going to be gaining on Cook. Is he close enough to go for a move? It looks like he's thinking about it. He is pulled off to the left, and he does go down the inside there. Side by side come the apex of the corner, and Cook did not put up a fight. He just lets Hanley and Marshall go. At that point, he was just like, it's not worth it. It's worth me keeping my nose clean instead here on lap 13. So 3 cars came into the pits. Nielsen, Matt Munro, and there was someone else, but I didn't see who it was. But I did see 3 white pit stop markers.
Yep, that was Munro, Nielsen, and I can't remember who the last one was, but 2 out of 3 ain't bad, as Meatloaf says. But nonetheless, Ferguson still out in front on those soft compound tyres. It's now 4.5 seconds, so it's probably time for Fergo to come into the pits here on the race winning. Is he going to come in? No, he's going to go around Daft Punk style one more time. Over Brandon Pierce in second place. A bit of a gap between the first 4 cars there, basically. But at the moment, it is only Andrew Ferguson on the alternate strategy. He's the only man out there, apart from Lachlan Grant, on the soft compound tyres to come into the pits. So What is the lap time delta for him? He's on for a 1:07.6 at this stage, is Fergo, but his last lap was a 1:08.8 versus the guys behind doing 1:08.4. So a bit of a gaggle of strategical genius coming in for Brandon Pierce here. 0.4 of a second quicker on that last lap than Fergo on those dying softs. So we've got to keep that in mind, viewers out there. It's absolutely sensational stuff. Dean Hanley's on the charge here. 8th place at the moment, 2.5 seconds away from Alex McEwen, who is a very quick customer in front of him. But he's just got to think the long game here, does Dino, and make sure he can get himself up into the pointy end, bar the shouting there for the last one. But this is where the battling is at the moment. Have a look at this. Cotter versus Marshall versus Kirk. Cotter's going around the outside, trying to get up the inside of Jesse Marshall, muscling his way through. Once again is Matt Cotter. Up on the defensive was the apex there for Jesse Marshall there too. Gone shallow on entry here into the final turn. Is Matt Cotter going to get the run onto the final straightaway? We'll see in just a hot second here as we ride on board. Yes, you can see them all weaving down the front straightaway, F1 style here, trying to break that suction and slipstream here. But it looks like Matt Cotter's got a really good run here on the Marshall Brothers Racing of Jesse, and he's gone for the inside here. Can he get the job done around the outside? They're all on the brakes. They're all squirreling for positions there. Jesse's done a good job to pull it up. Matt Cotter equally as well. But Matt Cotter is now on the advantageous side of the circuit coming into the next 3 corners. Here we go. Turn 1's done. Turn 2, and he's got that job done easy as you like, says Matt Cotter. Beautiful overtake. Just forced his position there and pace overall on the hard compound tyre. And now he promotes himself up into 5th place on the slide there. Alex McEwen not too far behind him as well. These boys in McEwen and Cotter are going for the biggest cock-off in racing I could ever see in my mind here. Who can get the furthest up the grid at the first point of pit stops? It's all on for the shouting here, but McEwen is right on the arse end now of Jesse Marshall. Sorry, Marshall's gone wide there, and McEwen's going to get the easiest overtake of the night, or is he? Because Jesse's gone back up the inside, defended that position beautifully there. Did Jesse at the MBR. That car is absolutely singing to the high heavens here in the oversteer department. McEwen's just got to look at this and go, geez, I've got to get past him really quick. And I think this is the point where he will get past him. You can see here right on board in the passenger side. Is there going to be enough suckage there? Ferguson's into the pit, so he's blinked from P1 as well. He's going to slide down the order here, but it's going to come back to him at the end of it. McEwen just trying to show the nose and dummy Marshall into a unforced error there. Doesn't get the job done now. Marshall just really, really nicely on the brakes there. Got that job done. Outsmarted McEwen, man. I'll tell you what. Cracking driving from these two. Really, really racing hammer and tong on the same compound and going hammer and tong here for the rest of them. And Matt Cotter into 4th place at the moment. Really, really handing Captain Kirk here now. This could be a move here for P3 respectively. Lindsay Muddle. It's on like Donkey Kong.
Yep, Cotter is going to want to get as far away from Alex McEwen as physically possible here at Hidden Valley Raceway. He's lost out to McEwen twice now in race 1 and race 2. Now he's ahead on the track. McEwen's taking it relatively easy. I think he's not too bothered on how quickly he gets through. He knows he has time, but it is running out. We are past, or are we past? No, we're not quite at the halfway point of this race. I don't think so at this point. My quick maths is not going well, but regardless, Cotter is trying to make moves, unlike Alex McEwen, who's just taking it a bit more patiently. Cotter's been going for it lap after lap after lap, and he's going to sail past on the straight, but into turn 1, they're still side by side. Cotter on the inside will have the better line to get an overtake done, and then he absolutely plants the throttle on the exit, gets it done, easy does it. McEwen in the background, not getting past Marshall, so that's another car in between Matt Cotter and Alex McEwen. So Cotter will be happy with that one, but now he's got a bit of a chase. He's got to close quite a gap to get to Scotty Garrick and Pierce as well in front of him. So he's just got to drive. He's got to put in qualifying laps now until he catches them as well. The pit stops will make a difference here. So, oh no, that's Marshall spun in the background. I'm not sure what happened. We don't have replays here on Assetto Corsa, but yeah, that's not good for Jesse Marshall. No,
unfortunately for one of the Marshall brothers, he's come a proper. Harley Marshall is the quicker one now. He's out on track. He's got Dean Hanley in front of him, who's also been promoted up a couple of spots. Dean Hanley on the drive of his life at the moment. Really, really loving these hard tyres as well. He's all over the back of McEwen here too, so not letting him go as well. But Harley also really pressuring Dino too, so we've got to keep an eye out for these three. Come to the pit stop strategy. When are they going to come in for their hard compound tyres and switch to the softs? We do not know. Andrew Ferguson in 11th place there. He's not far away on those hard compound tyres over the rest of them. So he's in a position at the moment where he's probably thinking, it's okay. If we look at the markers between McEwen and him, it's really only about 12 seconds, I think, by my quick math addition, that Andrew Ferguson is of a potential lead here in terms of these guys coming out in fruition. So he's really driving well at the moment. 108.2 was his last lap in Andrew Ferguson. Let's have a look at Brandon Pierce's at the front of the grid. In a 108.5 was his last lap, so he's made a mare of this one. 6/10 down, that's going to hurt him. He made an error somewhere along the track here in that grand scheme of things. Scotty Garrick's doing a 108.8, 108.0 for Matt Cotter at the moment. Quickest on the track, 108.5 for Captain McEwen on a 108.3 as well. Dino Hanley on a 108.8 himself too. So he's got a bit to think about because Harley Marshall is right up his clacker here having a good crack, but he comes into the pits anyway, there's Harley Marshall. So here's the first man to blink. 19 laps out of 34 done, which means they've got 15 laps on those soft compound tyres. I think by lap 13, they're starting to sing into the high heavens here, Lindsay Muddle. So a little bit of an interesting strategy here coming from the Marshall Brothers Racing Team. Ron Marshall is looking for a strategical genius in the discord, or mumble, so to speak, between him. But this man on his circuit, 7/10 away, not letting go of Alex McEwen. That is something to behold here for Dean Hanley. Really showing the quick boys how it's done, and he's up on his personal best here. Found a 10th in the first sector or so, not letting Alex McEwen go, who's the quickest customer of the evening, so to speak. Matt Cotter, Will Kirk in front of them, and by a comfortable margin too, about 1.8 seconds average between these guys as well. If Dino can stick there, he should be in for a good position here for the end of race 3. And you can see there, Jesse Marshall's way off again, Lindsay Muddle. He's had a mare, not sure where he's going. He's done a U-turn in the middle of the track and just coming back onto the circuit. He's going to lose a position to Ryan Nielsen. Ryan Nielsen got past him, and then you can see Harley Marshall, he came into the pits, his brother, right behind him too. So disaster there for one of the MBR boys, and it's race on here as Dino Hanley's into the pits.
Yep, unfortunate for Jesse Marshall, but the pit stops are slowly starting to trickle in this race. Harley Marshall passing Jesse there after the pit stop, and they're just going to continue to push on, trying the undercut here as we enter lap number 20 here in Hidden Valley. This race is absolutely flying away, and we're not really going to know the situation of this race and who's going to be in for the win, podiums, top fives, etc. until really all the pit stops are done, as everything can change on the entry to the pit lane, as we saw last race. But also just in the sense that, you know, hard tyres and undercuts and overcuts and all those good things, as Harley Marshall looking up the inside of Hanley gets that one done. Dean just not defending super hard, just knowing that Marshall is just that little bit quicker, as Pearso is now pulling into the pit box here, killing about 100 stop sign men on his way in. But what less would you expect from Pearso as he heads into the pit box and then right back out again? Where is he going to re-emerge onto the racing surface? Looks like it will be not 5th position. It will be 7th position, re-emerging onto the track for Pearso, with the 2 Fergos right in front of him, 1.3 seconds up the road. So he's got a little bit of work to do, but he's got to warm up those tyres first, as that is a move for the race lead. Cotter and Garrick swapping around, and that was a good move at the hairpin there from Matt Cotter to make that overtake stick, so he'll be quite happy with that one. But he's still got to make a pit stop in this race, but it'll still be a little bit here for these hard runners. They've just got to drive a couple more laps and they'll probably be into the pit box. So he's just got to drive it very nicely, very smoothly here. As no, he's going to pull in now. I said a couple more laps. No, he's pulled the trigger, and he's not going to stress any sort of undercuts here, I don't think. Will Matt Cotter, where is he going to come out in the grand scheme of things? That's the one thing I'm interested about. Garrett comes in as well as the captain. So this is really crunch time for this race. This is where everything becomes clear inside this 34-lap race. Cook taking the lead of this race once again. The 2 Fergos as well, and Pearso gets through, as where will Matt Cotter re-emerge onto the racing surface. There's a drag race on the pit lane exit there between Cotter and Garrett. They nearly swapped around again. McEwen in the background is making a move at turn 1 as well. Marshall's trying a move on the outside of McEwen. So Harley Marshall trying to get the skates on here to try and move up past Alex McEwen, but it's not worked this time. It's good defense from McEwen as he makes his way now into the next right-hander. We know Marshall likes a dive bomb there, but Harley decides to stay behind. What about the hairpin? Will Marshall go for it? No, too far back this time around, but Nielsen wasn't waiting around in front trying to get past the captain. He's pulling up alongside as they head into turn number 7. And, oh no, now McEwen sees his opportunity to go up the inside. There we go. There's the aggression we've been waiting for. McEwen has had a little bit of an air brake on throughout this race. He's just been waiting to go for moves for a long time. But now that the final stint has begun, the gloves have come off here for Alex McEwen. He's going to start getting the elbows out here. It's time for him to put the head down and try and win this race.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I'll tell you what, absolutely sensational racing from Alex McEwen. But at the moment, it is Fergo who is right out in front, as we saw Alex McEwen just have a move up the inside. I think he's going to get the job done there on Kirk. He does. Beautiful stuff there from Alex McEwen. On the soft compound tyre now, Fergo and McEwen and Cook are on the hards. Cookie's got to come in, but Fergo's going to get past him, I reckon, just as we speak. He is. He got around the outside then, Fergo. Cracking move there on the hard compound tyres for Fergo. Started on the soft, so he's got everything to play for here. Everyone's going to be playing catch-up behind him. So we've got to look out for that. And Scory Gaddix had a mare at the moment as well. Kirk and McEwen got past him too. And now he's under pressure there from Harley Marshall right behind him as well. So we've got a bit of a race going on here, ladies and gentlemen. That lull in proceedings with the pit stops all happens and it comes to fruition there. You can see Cotter off in the distance over Alex McEwen there now. 2.5 seconds. Oh, no, they made contact. And now around goes Harley Marshall. He's just got it pulled up at the right moment there. I think that's Ryan Nielsen trying to stick it fat around the outside. Dino Hanley's involved in this one too. So it's going to be a three-way tussle here. If Dino gets a perfect run off the exit, he will over Nielsen, but he just lost it on the exit down there. So Matt Cotter sets the fastest lap of the race. There goes Harley Marshall across the front finish line right now. But Nielsen's right on his clacker too. Jack Ferguson's in the pits. He's gone sailing down the order. So is the chef as well. Now Fergo's got everything to fight for at the front with 2.1 seconds between himself and Brandon Pierce on the soft compound tyre with 10 laps left in this one. Boy, this is on like Donkey Kong here for the final finishing podium positions of the race. I'll tell you what, Ferguson on the hard, everyone else on the soft all the way down to 7th place as well. Geez Louise, Marshall just driving the wheels off this car at this stage. Very, very nicely done, involved. And it looks like at the moment, you can see there that Nielsen versus Marshall versus Dino Hanley is going to come to fruition here very, very soon. What can these boyos do? Can they keep it clean? Can they keep it all in sundry between the two of them in nice clean racing action? Dino's just got to bide his time, wait for it here now until he finds a sniff up the inside of Nielsen, making an unforced error there. And I'll tell you what, Marshall has just skipped away because Nielsen is on the hard compound tyre in this gaggle of cars here. We've got 6 versus 7 versus 8 here on your screen at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. And it's absolutely neck and neck. Dino's got to get a better run on the exit there to get past Nielsen because that's not close enough here for a suckage. Down the front straight away. Dean Hanley eating up those soft tyres, sitting behind the poor old Ryan Nielsen on the hards. He's just an absolute sitting duck here at the moment. It's only going to be a rate of attrition here at the moment. You can see the apex speed difference there between Dino and Ryan Nielsen there as well. On the grand scheme of things, Harley Marshall has skipped out to a front position there. 6th place for him. Dino's got to get a move on. Poor old Nielsen here, the cork in the bottle so far with a little bit of lull in proceedings. It's still happening because that gap from 2.2 seconds has decreased ever so slightly. Fergo's off. He's off in the bunda. He just caught it at the last minute, but Pierzo's looking here at the moment. He's got 9-10 laps to go here, and he could be on for his maiden victory here in the Gen 3 Supercars for Brandon Pierce. And he's really got a run here at the moment. Down the front straight away we go. Right up the arse end of Fergo's car. Gross says the number plate, but I think Fergo's going to have to give it up because here comes Pierzo. Down the inside he goes. This is going to be a race position. This is the lead of the race. Fergo going right to the outside on the entrance of turn 1, but Pierzo too quick. Hard versus soft. Soft compound tyre wins every day of the week, and Pierzo now has got a race victory in his hands at the moment provisionally. What can he do? He's got a great gap between himself and the rest of them. Cotter's 6 seconds down the road from this battle. Not if he keeps locking up like that, Pierzo. We better get off him because we'll commentator curse him here now at the moment, Lindsay Muddle. It's all happening.
Yeah, so he's got 8 laps to not let Matt Cotter catch up. That's effective, and Alex McEwen. So 2 big names, to be fair, are closing up behind him. As long as he doesn't concede to the pressure, though, as well as he's got a buffer between as well with Fergo as well. So he should be able to take home this race win, but also he's got some quick customers closing in. That gap already 4.8 seconds to Ferguson. So they are going really quickly. They are absolutely going for this one. Cotter really wants a win here after losing to McEwen twice here in Hidden Valley. And McEwen's trying to take a third to get the slam after getting pole position, winning race 1, winning race 2. If he could get the slam, that would be highly impressive. But Cotter is not going to make it easy for Alex McEwen here, as they will continue to just drive off into the distance as quickly as they possibly can to try and catch up to the bearded man in P1. And this is now just going to be a little bit of a lull in proceedings. I think we're not going to see too much, as it's just a lot of chase down action, but we do have a couple of close gaps. You've got Scotty Garrick and Nielsen very close to each other. Just further up the road from them as well is Dean Hanley. So we're not without battle here, but definitely a little bit less than usual here in the racing action, as all the pit stops have just kind of neutralized a little bit of the racing. But this is still all about to kick off, especially in the last few laps. The gloves will well and truly come off. This could be some absolutely sensational stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Couldn't call it better myself. But you can look at Scotty Garrick's car. It's looking a bit right hand down at the moment. The front splitter is right hand down, and so is the rear wing as well, and the bumper too. So he's got a little bit to make up, but he's got a beautiful run here, Scotty Garrick, though, over Ryan Nielsen. So this is a cracking stuff. Nielsen's into the pit, so Scotty Garrick's just gone bang into 8th place. He goes. He'll be happy as Larry with that one. Ferguson is 1.6 seconds behind Pearso for the lead. Nielsen's going to drop back the order there a little bit, and you can see the gaps at the start here. Absolutely 2.5 seconds or average there between each other. Who's going to make a mistake here at the moment? But it looks like Ferguson is the potential cork in the bottle with 7 laps to go here. This is incredible stuff. 2.5 seconds is the gap between himself and Matt Cotter. You can see him in the background there in the fluoro livery at AK Racing Camaro there as well. 1 Camaro in the top 3 at the moment. Then we've got only 2 in the top 5 as well. So battle of the badges well and truly on. Mustangs winning at this stage. What can Fergo do? His last lap was a 108.1. Cotter's was a 106.97. So a massive gap. 1.2 seconds is the difference. And you can see that delta on your timing tower just going down and down and down at the moment. Fergo's going to have to hold on for dear life here. Can he hold on for P3 here? Or can he hold off the ever charging here, Matt Cotter? 106.470 for his fastest lap of the race. Nearly lap record there too. In fact, it is lap record for the race pace here as well, is Matt Cotter. So he is on the charge at the moment, and you can see that gap is now 2.2 seconds. Now it's down to 0.9 of a second here over Fergo. Fergo struggling on those hard compound tyres. You can see him losing a little bit of grip there on the apex as well versus Matt Cotter, who's just darting that soft top compound tyre in. But with a little bit of 6 laps to go, these soft compound tyres will start to sort of lean off a little bit there as well, Lindsay Muddle, and the viewers at home. So we've got to keep your eye out for that at this stage. It looks like 5th, 6th, and 7th is pretty much cemented because they're all in the soft compound tyre. But it is the battle between here, Fergo and Cotter, that we're looking at, because Cotter is right up the arse end now of the man in second place. That is Fergo on the slide there. And this is going to be as easy as you like, ladies and gentlemen. Down the front straightaway, side by side drafting. Who's got the most horsepower? None of them, because they both have equal horsepower down the front straightaway. And Matt Cotter's going to take his way into second place after everything that's happened. McEwen in the distance there, unless that was just a little bit of a slide there on entry between Cotter and Fergo, but they come out unscathed out of that one. Now Fergo's going to have to hold on for third because Cotter has got second place. And on the charge for Brandon Pierce, 4 laps left in this one.
Yeah, this is going to be a chase down. He has to gain more than a second a lap. Was that Pearso making a big... That was a big lock up there from somebody up the road. I saw a big lot of smoke. I'm not sure who it was. I don't think it was Pearso. I think it's that car behind him. I'm not sure who that is, actually. Is that Mello? Yeah, I think it's Mello. Just absolutely locked up, and I absolutely crapped my ducks, if I'm completely honest. I thought we were going to have a complete shift in how this race was going. But 3.5 seconds between Pearso and Cotter. He's got to gain more than a second a lap. Cotter's going to be very hard task to pull this off, but still P14 to P2 is not bad whatsoever. So that's absolutely a drive to talk about, as well as Alex McEwen going P15 potentially to P3 here if he can clear Fergo, which I think it's a matter of when and not if here, sadly enough, for Fergo. McEwen is just absolutely rapid, as we know, but we'll see how that goes here as we're on lap 31 of 34. Pearso just being cool, calm, and collected at the moment out the front. He has a race in the palm of his hands. All he has to do is drive it home nice and safely, but still quick enough to hold on to the charging cars behind him. And that's exactly the aim of the game here for Pearso. He just has to keep the car on the black stuff and keep it going in the correct direction.
Yeah, definitely. And with only 4 laps left in this one, 3 seconds, as you said, Lindsay Muddle, 1 second a lap is now the gap that he has to pull up in Matt Cotter over Pearso to take that win away from Brandon Pierce. But the bearded magician himself, he's leading this one 2.9 seconds now away. But Dino Hanley on screen at the moment, he's on a charge. He has really got the pace here over Harley Marshall. It was 2 seconds about a lap and a half ago, and now it's only half a second between himself and Harley Marshall. So can Dino get himself into 6th place at this stage? Oh, look at this. It's on here for P3 and 4. McEwen versus Fergo. Fergo's going to lose his podium position. That Champagne and Sparkles was going to be on like Donkey Kong. In fact, they give each other a bit of Morse code by the end of it. And McEwen's on the slide there. Has he got it pulled up at the point or not? He does, just at the rate of knots. And look out, here comes Captain behind them. No, that's not. That's a lap marker of, I think that is Dr. Dre or Andre Elliott. That is Doc and Andre Elliott just behind them, getting himself involved in this one, trying to unlap. But that is McEwen into 3rd place. Just to give Matt Cotter something to think about as well. It's not going to happen for any positional advantageous gains here for Alex McEwen. 5 seconds up the road is Matt Cotter, but it's now 2.2 seconds between Pearso and Cotter at the lead here as well. So we've got something to think about here. Also something to think about over this one. This is the closest battle on the track at the moment. 2.5 tenths is Dean Hanley versus Harley Marshall. Look at the car behaviour between the two of them. You can ride on board here over the hood cam between Harley Marshall and Dan Hanley. They're going hammer and tong here. It's lap 32 out of 34. We've only got a couple to go in this one, and it's still on here for the 6th and 7th place, if you don't mind. Harley Marshall right on the point of knot. Dean Hanley steered on exit and lost all of that gain that he just had. He had 6 tenths or so, losing that on the straight on his favourite corner of the track, unfortunately for him. But it's still on because Matt Cotter, 1.5 seconds now here, Mr. Muddle. That is incredible. Pearso feeling all the pressure here at the moment because 1.5 seconds with only 1 lap to go here, proceeding-wise, is a very, very close margin. If you can keep it all together, it's on like Donkey Kong here for these two.
Yeah, this is going to be absolutely nip and tuck here for the race victory. Cotter does have the pace, but Pearso has the track position. It is going to take an absolutely monumental effort for Cotter to try and take the race victory here on lap 34 of 34, but it's well and truly within the realms of possibility here. This is for the race victory. It's Pearso versus Cotter. It's Chevy versus Ford. You couldn't ride it better if you tried here in Hidden Valley Raceway. And now the chase down, the final lap begins. The gap is 6 tenths. All Pearso has to do is hold on, but he's had a massive lock-up at turn 1. Already feeling the pressure here from Cotter hounding the back behind him. He's filling Pearso's rear-view mirrors, and Pearso will be more than aware of Cotter closing in behind. The 2 crucial overtaking zones of the circuit are coming up. It's another lock-up from Pearso. This will open the door here for Cotter if he's brave enough. Pearso defending the inside. Cotter is going to try the long way round. Can't get alongside, but with the switch back to superior grip with the Chevy Camaro, and he's trying it every single direction he can. He switches back at turn 7. He has the run. It's going to be a final corner run here through the flat out kinks. They're on the brakes over the crest. He's absolutely all over the back of Pearso towards turn 12, 13 and 14. Who's going to take the race victory? It's going to be a drag race. It's a great exit off of the final corner for Matt Cotter, but it looks like Pearso is just going to hold on, and he wins the race 3 here in Gen 3's. Pearso takes the race victory by 3 tenths over Matt Cotter.
Wow, what a finish there, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely sensational event there. Brandon Pierce, take a bow. That is your race win, your maiden victory here in the Gen 3 Supercars. Well done, hounding it down by Matt Cotter there at the end. Holy mackerel, that was a photo finish. Couldn't have called it better myself. Lindsay Muddle, cracking stuff from you. McEwen comes through in 3rd place. Andrew Ferguson, a gallant 4th effort for him on the hard compound. Just absolutely been hunted like a fish drawing blood there, and he managed to keep himself inside the top 5. Captain Kirk comes across in 5th place as well. Harley Marshall, 6th. Dino couldn't get past him, unfortunately. But that's okay. 7th place for him. Scotty Garrick in 8th. He'll be stoked with that one, with the most right-hand down Mustang I've ever seen in my life. Jack Ferguson inside the top 10. 2 top 10s for the Fergo household. That is a cracker of an event. And Ryan Nielsen rounds out your top 10. Matt Munro coming through in 11th. Look at that car looking very, very second-hand indeed. They're just trying to drift his way through the circuit. Hayden Cook in 12th. Jesse Marshall from MBR had everything at his wits coming through that race. Jeez, he had everything. He was off in the bunda, he was out, he was down, he was upside down, he was everywhere. And he still managed to get to P13. Fuck off in 14th. Way down there in the grid scheme of things. Lachlan Grant, 15th place. Just counting his miseries at the moment, unfortunately, into the side at the main straight he goes. Alan Nielsen, 16th place. Andre Haley at the dock. What a could have been race for him. 17th place. Tony DeLuca. And unfortunately for Nick Mallow, disaster for him in P19 for that one. But the man of the moment is this guy on your screen here. Jeez Louise, that was some dead set, fantastic racing there from Brandon Pierce. Go to the front, boys, and said Tijuana style, I'm going to show you how it's done. And did he do that in style? Only by 0.3 of a second. You see all the boys having a good old burnout session here for the rest of that one. What a cracking event, Lindsay Muddle. That was SimSational, to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't even script it better. That was absolutely SimSational stuff here to end the night. That was absolutely cracking stuff. And I thought Cotter might have had Pierce. I thought he might have gone for it into the final corner, but he just sat behind, tried the drag race, and it just didn't work. But yeah, Pierso taking the win. I mean, that is an absolutely just epic effort from him to take the win. And yeah, what a night it was of racing.
Oh, definitely. And I'll tell you what, night of racing, but a night in the chat, it's just gone bang. We've had all these donors coming through. Thank you very much. Sly Fox, $2 for that one. Kirsty Hanley as well, getting in, supporting her husband in Dino with the $2 as well. Fabian Fitness has gone bang with a $15 special, telling Ron Marshall to go. Ron Marshall's even gone bang with the top one of the night, $20. Thank you very much, coming your way as well at SimSational TV. But geez, it is absolutely fantastic. I'll tell you what, I don't get any more excited when you see a race like that. Just the hunter becoming the hunted in Brandon Pierce, and nearly got hunted, that's for sure. But Matt Munro will be counting his blessings in 11th place. Just something to think about there. But Matt Cotter, 100% gallant in defeat, so to speak. 2nd place for him. Alex McEwen as well in 3rd. And it's a fantastic event for the rest of them. In fact, I'm going to see if I can get these boys in the chat as we watch Andrew Ferguson just doing some burnouts there. We'll see what we can do. Let's have a look and see if we can do that. While I do that, Lindsay Muddle, give us your best, basically, summary of tonight's event racing.
Oh, my best summary. I mean, it was a McEwen masterclass for the first 2, and then a strategical masterclass from Pierso in the last one. And what a chase down it was. McEwen still ends up on the podium for the last race. That was absolutely a great effort from Cotter and McEwen, coming from P15 and 14, just hunting, making moves. I think McEwen maybe will look back at that and try and learn for other reverse grids, because he was maybe a bit too patient in the first, and it definitely kept his nose clean though. But in the second stint he did get a hustle on, but he did lose out a lot of time for the pleasure. But also something I want to point out, we pointed out all the love and support in the chat, but also 997 subscribers.
Oh, so close. So close, but not far enough. We need 3 more. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you to everyone for subscribing. 997. We're getting close there, ladies and gents. Lindsay Muddle's going to be doing a shoey from his shoe, I can guarantee you that. So will myself and Chris Munro when that happens. But for now, it's going to be over to me for the post-race interviews with these guys. And Brandon Pierce, Matt Cotter, Alex McEwen. Wowee, what a finish. Let's hear from the race winner himself, Brandon Pierce. How much were you dead set crapping your ducks there at the end there, Brandon Pierce? What a cracker race, and congratulations on the win.
my ducks at lap 15. So soon as I got past Virgo and I had clear air, the car felt really good, but I knew the fast guys were coming up quickly. And yeah, I brought it right to the end, man. I'm full of sweat. My glasses were fogging up. Visibility was low.
Low visibility on the circuit, mate. That's incredible. Well done to you. You would have been absolutely on song there. A little bit of unforced errors as well. Matt Cotter, you could taste the victory in your clutches there, but Pearso got the chockies over you. But what a race by yourself to drive through the field there and keep your nose clean.
Yeah, thanks. Massive shout out and congrats to Pierce for getting his first win. It was crunching the numbers towards the end, catching them each sector basically and going, yep, I'm going to make it, I'm going to not. And then right at the end, he pulled out some good defensive moves and got it secured. So good job on him.
Yeah, it was a cracking race from everyone in Sundry. That little strategical genius sort of came into fruition there for everyone as well at the end there. And your boys all kept it clean when pitted where it was very much needed. But Alex McEwen, you had a bit of a tussle there. You had a bit of a tough time getting through the field tonight, I noticed, but you kept your nose clean, and the rate of attrition just came towards you there, mate. How did you feel for third place there tonight?
Definitely better than I was expecting. Survival definitely being key there.
Yeah, it seemed like it because I was watching you with all the battles in front. We caught it live on stream. You just struggling to get through the field, but waiting for people to either pit in or come to fruition on some sort of the racing department battling standards, and it came through at the end there. I know you're a bit far off the way, 5.6 seconds at the end from Pearso and Cotter, but geez, mate, that was a very much a patience game for you. Did you feel like you need to be extra patient tonight in comparison to other rounds?
Not particularly. I was always going to be on the back foot tonight, a bit under practiced, and so I knew I wasn't going to be anywhere near the front in terms of at least one lap pace, and so I just had to make do with what I had. Ended up going far better than I expected, and so yeah, starting from 15th reverse grid, I didn't really have the pace to cut through the field as aggressively as these other guys, so I just had to sit behind, sort themselves out, and just let it come to me.
See, that's, ladies and gentlemen, that is tip 101 from the super coach himself. Just let the race come towards you, and without any contacts involved in redressing and all that sort of stuff, if you overtake cleanly and fast, that is going to get you results, and that's what Alex McEwen showed from 15th on the grid in this one tonight. It was SimSational to watch all of you blokes there tonight. Big congratulations, Pierce. So that was fantastic. Well done on your maiden victory in the Gen 3s. Matt Cotter, great fight for that one too. It was all hammer and tong for the rest of you, and Alex McEwen as well. So thank you, boys. Thanks for sticking around after that one. I'll love yous and leave yous here at SimSational TV, but it's on to the next one in a fortnight. That's going to be an absolute belter. Give it 1, 2, 3. Pearso, you got to give me your prediction of your next positional finish at the next round. Cotter, you second, and then Alex McEwen third. Go on.
Probably 7th. I'll bottle it after this one.
Cotter.
Third,
McEwen.
I was going to say third, bugger.
Well, 2/3. We can fight over.
Cool,
It could be fourth from Alex McEwen, but could be a dead heat by the end of one.
Can we split the points?
We could split the points. We can't split the timing though. To whoever comes first, whoever was in front first. If it's an equal dead heat by the last lap, I think we'll get the chockies over that. But anyway, we'll sort that out later on. But thanks, gents, for sticking around.
Endurance race, too, boys.
It is an enduro. Ooh. It's going to be an exciting one. Don't you worry about that. Brandon, well done. Matthew, absolutely fantastic. And Alex McEwen, 2 out of 3 ain't bad, mate. Well done. A bit of a securing in the top podium positions in the championship. Well done to you. And thank you very much, boys, for sticking around after that one. But nonetheless, Lindsay, that is another round done, my friend. And I'll tell you what, that was something to behold here. Boy, oh boy, are we excited for the next round.
Yeah, that was absolutely cracking stuff. That was... Yeah, I don't even think there's words to describe how good that round was. That was... Oh, no, there is a singular one, Zach O'Reilly. You could probably guess it.
Yeah, I won't guess it, but I know what one you're talking about.
It's absolutely sensational.
Absolutely dead set sensational. And it's been a fantastic event tonight. Thank you for everyone to stick around after the proceedings here. It was absolute cinema, as I would say so myself. And in fact, as I just crossed to the chat there, Brandon Moore has beaten me to it. He said, absolute cinema. Well done to everyone. Thank you to our race directors, in Mr. Simmons, Taylor, that involved, and Stephen Marsden there as well. Turkey was driving the safety car as well. Thank you to AK Racing for tonight's event. Thank you to all of our drivers, Tier 2 and Tier 1, for putting on an absolute sensational show. And the most of all, thank you to everyone who subscribed tonight, and for everyone in the Super Chat as well. A massive, massive thank you indeed for that. We had Matt Hageman, we had Kirsty Anley, we had Fabian Fitness, Ron Marshall, all getting involved in that one too. So a big, big thank you to all of you. We love you so much for the support so far here at SimSational TV. 3 subscribers off a shoey. Well, that's going to get us up and about, I'll tell you what. But for now, Lindsay Muddle puts the M in magnificent, and he has called that beautifully tonight. Never seen Hidden Valley, and got the turns right at the end there. And it's been fantastic to have you along tonight, Lindsay. Thank you for being around for this one.
Yeah, absolutely no worries. There's also now it's 998.
998, so 2 away from a sensational shoey. We're coming our way here. Fantastic. But as for now, it is Lovies and Leavers here at SimSational TV. I've been Zach O'Reilly, and guess what? You're not. Lindsay Muddle has been himself, and we'll be back tomorrow night, in fact, for another round of SimSational TV and Le Mans Ultimate for the Monday night sprint series as well. But here, as we speak, AK Racing putting on a show on your Sunday night. It's been fantastic to have you all with us. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Lindsay Muddle, as well. And as always, here at SimSational TV, it's goodbye for now, but as always, keep it flat out.